All right, here he is, Steve Langford. He's going to tell us what's going on in the Howard 100 newsroom. Steve, please give us an update.
And I guess Eric will be yelling at him.
Oh, Eric the Midget has a problem with you.
And in fact, our lead story today. Howard 100 News to the rescue. Eric the Midget's abortive appearance at a WNBA game in Sacramento July 10th saved after this news division broke the story yesterday. Eric the Midget's meet and greet autograph session had been canceled when no one, repeat, no one, bought a ticket to the special event. But thanks to Howard 100 News, in the space of a few hours yesterday, more than 50 fans reportedly bought tickets to meet Eric the Midget.
So, Eric, I guess you're not so mad at Steve. He saved your appearance.
Shut the fuck up. You are not the reasoning for the ticket sales, you egotistical asswipe. The tickets got sold because finally the emails that I sent out to the people that go to this room got answered. The people finally bought the damn tickets. They didn't get bought because of your stupid fucking ass. Go the fuck back up to Canada, you worthless piece of shit.
All right. How do you respond to that, Steve? Do you think you still stand by your story?
Yeah, I mean, the facts of the matter are that we did the story. He had sold 0 tickets. 0.
Right.
And we did the story. They sold more than 50. The guy at the Sacramento Monarchs told us about it. Johnny Fratto is thanking us.
Right.
The facts are clear.
Facts are clear, Eric.
There are no facts to that story.
No one likes you.
Shut the fuck up, fat boy.
Is that why he's calling? Because he's mad because he sold tickets?
Nobody liked you, little man.
Yeah, check the email box again. There probably more than likely is a hell of a lot.
No need to check the email box. You're hated by everyone.
Well, Eric, I don't know. If I was you, I wouldn't care why you sold the tickets. The fact that you sold 50 tickets is...
Yes.
I can't even believe 50 tickets is enough to make an event happen. I mean, Eric, I wouldn't be too busy crowing about the 50 tickets. 50 tickets.
Where's the event? In a lobby?
No, fat ass.
How dare you? You head of shit.
Well, let me tell you something, Eric. I'm happy for you. You got your appearance. I don't know why you're taking such umbrage with Steve Langford.
Steve Langford sells tickets. I've used him several times. Detroit, Cleveland.
There you go.
The fella comes through.
He is not the reasoning for that at all.
You think you're the reason?
They finally sold because of the emails that I sent out weeks ago. I've had the link on my MySpace page for weeks.
Well, and yesterday morning, before we did the story, number of tickets sold by Eric the Midget, 0.
The story yesterday must have had some effect, Eric, if you had it on your MySpace page, your friend book page, or whatever fucking page you have. And then all of a sudden, Steve does the story, and you get 50 ticket sales.
It's also been on the JFSC.TV website.
Well, they're
as
even more the reason.
0.0.
0.0.
0.0.
The tickets did not sell because of that Canadian
Eric.
Now, I want you to tell the other two what I'm about to tell you now. You're out through expelled in favor.
Can I say something here, Eric? I think
0.0.
I think you're being a little unreasonable here. If you had this ticket listed on all of these various things, JFSC, everywhere else, and you sold 0.0, as the gentleman is saying. If you sold 0,
Dean Warmer,
and then all of a sudden Steve does the story and
0.0.
Brad, shut up with that button.
and then all of a sudden, now you're selling tickets. Certainly, you must give Steve the credit.
Really?
Stop being ungentlemanly.
He's helping you.
Every week there's a new example of you acting like a shithead boob.
Really?
I'm not giving that shithead credit for shit.
Well,
Even if he deserves it, is what
I
you're
think
saying.
you're making a mistake. I don't think that's fair to Steve.
Him covering the story helped you.
Really?
I hate Langford. I want you to fire his dumb, shitty ass.
Why? Because he has a huge penis?
Right.
Well, why do you hate
No.
Steve? I
He
mean,
helped you.
He's helping you.
0. Point.
Are you saying you don't want any help?
Fred, you push that button one more time. I'm going to fly to New York. Play closer! Play closer!
What?
0.0.
I'll meet you at JFK.
What did you say, Eric? I missed it.
I am sick of you hitting those sound buttons, you bastard.
Eric, what did you say?
What
You're
did
going
you
to fly
say?
to New York and do what?
Break all Fred's fingers so he can't push this button.
You should fly to New York and butt fuck him and then take him to dinner and suck his dick.
How many balloons would it take for you to fly to New York?
Fly to New York and stick his fingers in your butt.
Eric, I've never seen you so upset.
Say that.
I've never seen you so angry.
It's like you were possessed.
Yeah. It was really like when Linda Blair went berserk.
Man, Eric.
Eric, you're really out of control.
Did he just threaten me?
Yes, he
yeah,
did.
He did.
Wow.
He did. He's going to break your fingers.
Howard, can you put my pot up again?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Steve.
0.0.
That
You
felt so
sold.
good.
He's right. You sold 0.0 tickets, and then Steve went on the air, and then you sold 50 tickets. How could you not give Steve a little praise?
How could you be mad?
Daniel Simpson Day has no grade point average.
Nothing the fuck to do with that Canadian jackass that you have on your payroll that you're wasting money on.
All right. Well, it's a good
I
thing
don't
you're
see how
not.
you could say that.
It's a good thing you're not the news director.
Larry Kroger, 1.6. Congratulations, Kroger. You're at the top of the Delta Pledge class. Mr. 𝗦𝗵cie𝘄. 0.0. Now, I want you to tell Johnny Frotto what I'm about to tell you now. You're out through at the Stern channels. I want you off the JFSC by 9 o'clock Monday morning.
Well, Eric, I don't know what to tell you. I think you're making a mistake here.
And I'm sure you'll be happy to know that I have notified your local draft boards and told them that you are now eligible, completely eligible, for military service. Where's that guy's Academy Award?
Steve, are you sure before your story not one ticket sold?
This is according to the Sacramento Monarchs.
Wow.
When did the tickets sell, Steve?
After we went on the air yesterday with this.
Ah, so you sold the
Dumbass
tickets.
sort of coincidence.
What?
Coincidence?
That's an extraordinary lack of success, Eric. We've seen losers on this show, but not on.
You are a loser's loser.
Yeah. Scott the engineer looks like Donald Trump.
Eric, the facts are in. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to insult you, but it was Steve's story that did help you.
It was not.
Would you agree it's possible that Steve's story helped you?
No.
All right. If you're going to insist.
Let's say this. The fact that you were
say you
involved.
shut up.
Let's say I shut up.
Oh, man.
Let's say this. Because you were involved, you did get a story done that helped to sell the tickets.
Surely you'll admit that.
Come
Yeah,
on.
that's a good compromise. It doesn't make you look like a total dolt.
Saves face.
Steve, how many tickets do you think you'll sell today for Eric?
I hope a lot more. I mean, he's very angry, but the fact of the matter is we when we do news stories, sometimes they have results.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. And by the way, the event was completely dead in the water, right? They weren't going to have it.
Yeah, they had canceled it.
Done.
Now it's going to happen, right?
Yeah, now they say it's back on.
Oh, look at on Eric's website. It says 0.0.
By the way, they weren't going to cancel it straight out.
What do you mean?
You have misinformation on that, just like that asshole has misinformation on a lot of shit he reports.
All right. Well, I
I
don't
want to
know.
know what the event was going to be. Like, what were you going to do?
Here's what it was. Again, it was
I was going to blow everybody.
Sacramento Monarchs versus the Los Angeles Sparks meet Eric the actor. Exclusive pregame autograph session and meet and greet with Eric the actor. The first 100 fans to purchase tickets will receive a special limited edition Eric the actor T-shirt.
Wow.
Wow, so there's still 50 of those left, is what you're saying.
So how much does it cost to see Eric?
Tickets, you also get to see the game. $20.50, $26.50, and $39.50.
And the Monarchs are in on this?
Yeah.
Wow.
If you see the if you stay to watch the game, it's only $10.
All right, Eric. Well, thank you. You've had your words. And wait a
Anything
second.
else you want to say to Steve?
I want to just say, to prove something to Eric. This is Jeff, who processes the tickets for the Monarchs. Jeff, are you there?
Yes, good morning, Howard.
Okay, what do you do for the Monarchs?
I am the processor of the tickets. I coordinate all the tickets, the VIPs, and whatnot. I'm also a listener of Sirius Satellite Radio.
Okay, and what did you find out?
Well, I do gauge all the ticket sales on a daily basis, and I can tell you this. There were absolutely no tickets sold prior to Mr. Langford's announcement on Sirius Satellite Radio.
Well, what do you think of that, Eric?
I don't believe this because Jeff is not the person that I'm in contact with.
I do the computer processing, Eric.
Jeff, are you sure your name is Jeff and not Sal?
Who's Sal?
All right, thank you.
Evidently not a big listener. He doesn't know Sal.
All right, thank you.
0.0.
Yes, Steve.
Eric may also be interested in this. Howard 100 News getting our grubby paws on pictures of the special limited edition T-shirts that lucky fans could win for meeting Eric. Eric, the original gangster, they read, in this other style featuring Eric the Aviator. The captain reading, "Fly me to the moon." We have balloons on this T-shirt.
Oh, so Eric never having flown with balloons now makes a T-shirt with balloons.
Oh, you bastard.
I didn't okay that one. I asked him to cancel that one.
All right.
But it's still there being offered.
Yeah.
In your name.
Who dumped a
You're an
whole
annoying bitch. Shut up.
Who dumped a whole truckload of fizzies into the swim meet? Who delivered the medical school cadavers to the alumni dinner? Every spring, the trees are filled with underwear. Every Halloween, the toilets explode. You're talking about the JFSC, sir. Of course I'm talking about the JFSC, you twerp!
I'm really excited to be down here on the Stern Show. We're going to talk about my book today, hang out a little bit, and shoot the shit with Howard.
Are you excited to be on?
Oh, yeah. It's
Big fan?
fantastic. I listen to him all the time. He is the king of satellite radio, you know?
I'm excited. Don Felder's here. He just wrote a book about what it's like to be in the Eagles and then get your ass kicked out of there. Yeah. That's got to be a come down. Pretty amazing story, actually, and I'm very curious about it. There's the guy right there.
Yep, there he is.
There he is. That's the guy. in person. How you doing,
But
man?
maybe it's good to be able to get the Eagles money without having to be an Eagle.
Hey, that's the idea. You know?
There you go. Now you're
It's a
talking.
wonderful thing.
Now you're talking.
It's a lovely, lovely thing.
Well, a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you, too. I was actually doing a radio interview up in Calgary a couple of weeks ago with a guy that's a huge kind of radio talk show host up there.
Right.
And he says, when you see Howard, tell him he is definitely the king of
that's
satellite
nice.
radio.
That's nice.
And
What's
you
that
are.
guy's name? Do you even
His
remember?
name is Dave Rutherford.
Dave. Well, thanks, Dave. That's nice to say.
Yeah, absolutely right. So,
You know, the one thing before we get into the outrageous history of you and the Eagles, that I love that video. They show it still on VH1 every once in a while, where of course it's the live Hotel California, and you and Joe Walsh are standing there like rock gods.
Sure.
And you're playing that duet, you know, the instrumental part, and you kind of lean into Joe during that, and you tell him something that cracks him up during it because he starts laughing. And I always love when musicians talk to each other on stage. It's kind of cool.
You wonder what they're talking
But
about.
I've heard you reveal this, but maybe now you'll do that for my audience. What do you lean in and say to Joe Walsh to cause him to laugh during Hotel California?
Back in those days, we used to do a lot of drugs, and people would walk around with reminiscence glistening on the tips of their nose, and so if you had that on your face, somebody would say, "Hey, you're showing."
Right.
So we're in the middle of filming this. This is pre-VH1 and pre-MTV, and we're actually filming this so we can send it over to Japan and Europe and whatnot, so people can see what this is about.
Right.
Which was the way you promoted stuff before you got on MTV.
Sure.
So in the middle of filming this, I just lean over to Joe in the middle of that solo and go, "You're showing."
He had a big Coke booger, didn't he?
He did.
He did.
He didn't really. It was just a joke.
And Joe laughs, of
Oh,
course. So
Joe.
there is the secret. There it is. That is what is revealed.
You know, that story's cooler than I thought it would be. That's great.
Artie needs Coke now. You were a member of the Eagles from 74 to 80, and I didn't even realize you weren't an original member of the Eagles. They brought you in to, I think, kind of rock things up and cool it up a little bit, because the Eagles were more like a country band almost. And then they brought you in, right? You were the guy they figured could make them rock and roll.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah, they were playing, you know, Take It Easy and Peaceful Easy Feeling and those sort of songs.
Yeah.
Great songs, but really kind of country oriented. And AM radio in the 70s, you had to have a special format. It had to be 3 minutes long. You had to have an intro that was under 30 seconds so the DJs didn't have a long time to talk before the singing started. And everything that was on the radio was either rock and roll or R&B.
So it was very calculated on the part of the Eagles. And when I say the part of the Eagles, I mean, you know, Frey and Henley.
Frey and
Henley. It was really sort of brilliant on their part to say, we need a guy who can make us even more acceptable to the rock and roll world. It'll make us a bigger band.
That's exactly
So it was
right.
smart to bring you in.
Now, how did they find you? I mean, why you?
Yeah, why you and not
I keep
me?
asking myself that question every day. Why me?
Why you?
Well, you know, one of the guys that was in the band, original member, was a guy named 𝗵𝗵, and he was a brilliant guitar player. If you listen to the first couple of records, he was a brilliant bluegrass and electric country music guitar player.
Right.
And Bernie and I were actually high school friends when we were 15 and 16 and had a band together in Gainesville, Florida, where we grew up.
Right.
And Bernie left Gainesville and moved back to California and was in the Flying Burrito Brothers and a few other bands, and finally wound up in the Eagles. And so when he would come around to different cities that I was in, we'd get together and I'd go backstage and hang out and play with him and just say hello.
Right.
And I wound up seeing them in Boston, I think at Boston University or something, in '71 when they were opening for the Yes.
Right.
So they were just starting out at the time. I went back and saw Bernie and my buddy and hung out, and we played backstage, and Glenn and everybody was there and kind of saw me and went, wow, that's great. And Bernie kept calling me to get me to move out to L.A. He said, the music business isn't happening in New York. It's not in Boston. It's in California. And in those days, in the 70s, it really was. That was the California sound. So eventually I took his advice and moved out to L.A. in my U-Haul trailer and my '65 Volvo. And got a couple of jobs out there working for Crosby Nash, being Stephen Stills, playing.
So you were really connected. I mean, you knew a lot of guys. You knew Crosby, you knew Nash, you knew you knew a lot of the big acts, right?
I did. You know, it was funny before I met Bernie, the guy that was in my band in Gainesville was Stephen Stills when we were 14 and 15 years old.
Wow.
We had a little band
How did
together.
you know Stephen Stills? I mean, I think he's a genius, Stephen Stills. Am I right on that?
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely.
You met him when you were 14, and didn't you hang out with the Allman Brothers when you were
Yeah,
a kid? How do you know all these
Where
guys?
were you? You're like the Zelig of music.
I was in the shittiest part of town.
Nobody was where you were.
No one hung out where I was.
Well, it was Gainesville, Florida. I don't know if there was something in the water or what we were smoking in those days, but everybody kind of wound up being friends together.
Isn't Tom Petty from there?
Yeah, he was one of my guitar students. I taught him early on.
Wow.
You taught Tom Petty how to play guitar?
Yeah.
Does he thank you every day for that?
Well, I think he mentions it in his articles now, and that was so funny.
Every time he gets laid, he should thank you. I mean, come on. Another brilliant guy that you hung out with. Wow.
Yeah.
You taught Tom Petty how to play guitar. You mean he took guitar lessons
He
from
took
you?
guitar lessons
He
from
paid
me.
you to teach him how
Yeah,
to...
exactly.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Was he a brilliant student? Did you say to yourself, geez, this is some kid?
No, he wasn't a great guitar player, but he
Wow.
was fantastic on stage. He had this charisma. He had this long, straight blonde hair, and he'd flip his hair and shake his hair.
Yeah, but did you ever say to yourself, here you were, you I guess you're older than him, that you were his guitar teacher.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Did you ever say to yourself, gee, maybe I ought to hook up with this kid and start a band with him?
No, I had my own band. I was working with Stills. He was
Right.
a couple of years younger than me, so, you know, he was still a skinny, kind of buck tee, scraggly hair.
Wow.
Well, now that I think about it, he still looks like that.
I was going to say, you're describing him now.
I mean, how much did you charge Tom Petty for a guitar
I think it was
lesson?
$3 an hour.
$3 an
Yeah,
hour.
but I
Should've
didn't.
charged
I
him
was
more.
working
I was
at
going to
this.
say, what do you charge today? I mean, inflation has
I was working at this music store, and I didn't really get paid cash. I got paid credit on the store account, and
Right.
I would save up my money so I could buy strings or chords or a guitar or something like that.
Did
in
you ever
exchange.
imagine that you would be something bigger than a guitar teacher? I mean,
No.
it's such a lucky business, right?
Oh my Lord! Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, it's crazy.
I've been so blessed to be able to come from such humble means, where I grew up on a little dirt road in the Palmetto fields of North Florida.
Imagine if you
to-
said to Tom Petty when you would teach him, you said, listen, schmuck, I'm not going to charge you. You just give me 1% of your career if you ever take off.
I should send him that. Say,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I'm entitled a percentage of what you make because I
Wow.
started you off
How
here.
many years did you teach him?
Well, I was there for about a year and a half or 2 years in town
wild.
before I left.
No kidding.
Yeah, once Bernie left, I put together another band and actually moved to New York and worked here in New York. Lived down on Horatio Street when it was actually the meatpacking district before it was so cool.
Did you have credentials as a guitar teacher? In other words, were you you're able to read music and you're able?
I taught myself.
You taught
Yeah.
yourself all that.
I exchanged lessons in this other school of music. This guy named 𝗶𝗿 had gone to the Berklee College of Music and came back to Gainesville and opened this little music school. And so he taught me to read, taught me music theory, composition, and that sort of stuff. So every hour that I would teach his guitar students,
Right.
he would teach me music and theory. So it was because I had no money. I couldn't
So you
pay
were,
for
of
anything.
course not. You would talk. You were hanging out with Stills, and you were hanging out with these guys, Allman Brothers, all these guys.
Yeah.
And yet, the Eagles are the ones that figure out, let's put this guy in our band.
Sure.
I mean, this is the guy.
Yeah.
And they figured that out. Why? What had you done that was so remarkable to them that said, man, this is the guy that can make us go to the next level?
Well, every time they would be at rehearsal out in L.A. when I was in town, if I wasn't out on the road working with somebody, I would go in and just hang out at their rehearsals, sit in and jam with them and play with them. And
So you helped them write music?
No, I didn't help them write music then. We would just jam. Just
jam.
Kick around and have a good time and
they
kind
said,
of
this
get
is
off.
the right. This guy's got the right vibe for us.
Yeah, and we were exciting, and, you know, it was just fun.
And they offer you a full partnership in the Eagles.
That's
in other
correct,
words,
yeah.
you were a full partner. When I say that, some bands, let's say, have one or two guys who write the songs and stuff, and then they have members who don't get a full partnership. They get paid well, but they're employees.
Correct.
But you were a full working partner.
Yeah.
Like you signed a contract with them. And
That's
you say,
right.
Look, I'm a full-fledged member. If they hadn't made you a full-fledged member, would you have backed out and said, this is probably not for me?
Well, no, at the time I received the offer to come in and play on this session, I just went in to play with a bunch of friends of mine in the studio, and I played slide guitar on this song called Good Day in Hell.
Right.
And I got a call the next day asking me to join the band. And I, at the time, was actually being Stephen Stills with Crosby Nash. I was playing Stephen's parts, ironically enough, with that band. And my wife was pregnant with our first kid. And
so you were a married man with a pregnant wife, and things were about to really change in your life. You're about to be a member of the Eagles.
Yeah.
Did you go berserk when you became an Eagle? Did you cheat on your wife? Did you have multiple sex partners? Did you constantly bang?
They gave him those with the contract.
Yeah, that all came with the territory. You know? Yes,
really? Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. You know, I was raised, like I said, in very humble means in the South. I was dragged into church, into Sunday school from the time I was old enough to remember with my mother, and had a really religious upbringing. And then when I joined the Eagles, I was drugged and I was drugged into sin and all sorts of promiscuity. My whole life and everything changed.
Did you become a drug addict?
I wasn't addicted to drugs. I did more than my fair share.
What was your thing? Coke?
Coke, yeah, absolutely.
No heroin?
No, I never did heroin.
Yeah, just
I didn't
Coke,
like pot a whole lot. No,
just Coke.
Just Coke, and
Coke
I drank a little Remy Martin to take the edge off, you know. But other than that,
the band was fueled by Coke back then, right?
Everybody was. Yeah, doctors, lawyers, musicians.
Everybody was high.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah.
In fact, you even say in your new book that you hung out with Keith Richards a lot, and you found him. You thought he was dead in a room, right? But then it turned out you saw him on stage that night and he was alive. But
I was going to say, please tell me he really doesn't take drugs. That's an act.
You literally thought he was dead, right?
Well, yeah. All I saw was a foot sticking out of his bathroom in his bedroom there, and I this kind of pale gray glow about him, and oh no, I hope I haven't been the one that discovered him. You know?
Yeah, you don't want to go down.
Yeah.
What were the circumstances? A party or something, or pre-show?
It was after show, post show. Yeah, and we were in Kansas City. As a matter of fact, we weren't playing with them or opening for them or anything. We just happened to be. They were playing one night in Kansas City Stadium, in the Chiefs Stadium, and then we were playing some other gig, and we wound up being on the same hotel where they had the top floor with all their gorillas as security, and we had our next floor down with our guys. And our road manager, Richard Fernandez, used to know and be friends with their road manager at the time, said, "Hey, you want to go up and meet these guys?" And I went, "Of course, you kidding me?
Rolling Stones.
You bet." I mean, to me, that was a huge honor. This was like, 75, I guess 76, something like that. And so we went up, and we went walking down this hallway, and the doors to the presidential suite were open at the end of the hallway, and this music was just blaring out of it. Keith used to carry this roll-around studio that had like an old reel tape recorder and an amp and a bunch of cassettes and stuff, and J.B. Lansing monitors in it. So it was just pumping coming out of his thing. And this guitar was laying down on the floor, this electric guitar just going, it was like, just playing itself. And we walked in and went, "That's kind of odd." And we started walking around with the road manager going, Keith, where are you? And we walked in the bedroom, and I turned the corner, and there was this foot sticking out of the bathroom, and we were promptly kind of whisked away.
Could you believe you went from being this poor kid to all of a sudden hanging out with Keith Richards and these bands, and you're in a huge band yourself? You must have pinched yourself. I mean, it must have been
weren't huge
unbelievable.
when you joined them.
No, they weren't. We were just a bunch of, kids in ripped jeans and T-shirts. Our gigs, we'd drive rent-a-cars ourselves around, and we'd fly coach in the back, and we played like university campuses, and really until one of these nights, and especially when Hotel California kicked in, is where we really jumped up to stadiums.
And you wrote the song Hotel California.
Yeah, I wrote a large part of it. Yeah,
you wrote the music for it.
I wrote all the music for it. Yeah.
You walked in one day and you said to the Eagles, "Hey, I wrote this song Hotel." I don't even know if you had a name for it.
Got this music.
What was the riff that was going through your head? Just the.
Well, I just remember that one day I was kind of sitting on this couch in this rental house that I had on the beach in Malibu. My youngest son was playing out in the sand.
Yep.
Kind of the California summer sun was glistening on the water. I had on a pair of cut-off shorts and was just got out of the water, and I was sitting there just playing acoustic guitar, and kind of out came that introduction, and I played it and played it and played it about 4 times. And I went, I've got to go record this before I forget it.
And when you're having that, do you go to yourself, I think this is a huge moment, but you don't know.
It just sounded like a kind of a nice progression. I went back and recorded it on a tape recorder, and actually I was working on the songs for Hotel California, and I had like 15 or 16 other songs. And so I threw that idea down and went back out and jumped in the water, and then about 4 or 5 days later, I came back and started listening to that reel of song ideas, and I went, I'm going to finish that one. That sounds like a good one. And I had an old Roland Rhythm-Ace, which was this funky drum machine that piano players used to play in these bars, and had a cha-cha beat and a samba and all that stuff.
And you hit the drum beat.
I found the closest one to it, and then laid down a bunch of guitars on it and played a bass part on it, and pretty much wrote almost identical what's on the record, the 76 record, with the exception of a few guitar solos on the end. So
why do guys who have a gem like you're writing probably the biggest song the Eagles ever had, why the hell do they get rid of you and throw you out of the band? Now, okay.
Because, it sounds like you were all getting along and enjoying each other at the beginning.
That was the heavenly part. You know, the book
in the beginning
of Heaven and Hell in the book.
When's it go bad? Because when the success hits to Frey and Henley, I know Fry, whatever the fuck his name is. Fry becomes a control freak, right?
Well, you know, what happened is when the band was first joined, even before I was in the band, when it was first formed, everybody had been sidemen behind Linda Ronstadt or behind this person. And when they got together, they said, we're going to be equal partners. We're all going to write songs. Everybody's going to sing 2 songs on the record.
It's communal.
Yeah, it's a band, you know. It's not one guy or 2 guys and a bunch of backup musicians. And it was still going on when I joined the band, and that way we formed this company called Eagles Limited, which was a 5-way partnership that everybody owned a 5th of the band, of the name, the merchandising, the tickets, everything.
Sounds great.
Everybody's driving in the rent-a-cars, everybody's in the studio, everybody's working, everybody gets a
Everything's
share.
Equal.
Yeah.
Right.
And then as time went by and the main songs that became hits were sung by Henley and Fry, they seemed to feel somewhat more entitled to a larger share of the proceeds and ownership and control than other people in the band.
And I know from the book that you began to look into this. You would say to the business manager, wait a second. I'm driving around in a shitbox. These guys have limousines taking them everywhere.
Is that what they did? They started doing that kind of thing?
Well, yeah, and guess what? When they're riding around a limousine, guess whose share is
being eaten up?
Being eaten up.
That's right. Yeah,
that's right. So you know.
Well, you know, there's an old adage in Hollywood amongst managers and in the music business that says, "Pay your acts enough money that they don't ask questions."
Right. Right.
And the trouble really started around the end of the 90s. When I started asking questions. I was CFO of this company.
Right.
And I was only 1/3 owner with Henley and Fry. Bernie had left and surrendered his shares back to the corporation.
That was smart.
Randy had left and surrendered his shares back to the
What, did they hold a gun to their heads?
No, they wanted to quit. They just wanted out. They wanted, this is awful. I want the hell out of here.
It was awful because those guys have become demons, in your opinion?
Yeah, and controlling and made work and, you know, playing music should be like a child at play. It should be fun and exuberant and exciting, and it's hard to be creative.
But, you know, most of us try to imagine this, you know, because being a musician and getting in a big band is so, the odds are so against you that when it happens, you think you could put up with almost anything. I mean, when you describe things were bad, you're talking about even those guys fought with each other, right?
They did, yeah. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you watched the last 60 Minutes interview where they were on 60 Minutes, where Don and Glenn were sitting in this booth together. But wow, it was just difficult to watch them, the anger and tension and frustration and venom that those guys managed to conceal as best they can.
Those two bastards need each other.
Yeah, they do.
and yet they hate each other.
And that is why.
Why
like
do you think
staying
they hate
together.
each other? What is it? What is the reason? I mean, they seem like two reasonable guys. Why do they hate each other? I mean, they're human beings. I mean, what could be... here's Gary Dell'Abate.
Well, that's why they're human
has
beings.
An answer, apparently.
Why do they hate each other so much? What is the dislike? What is your answer, Gary?
I read the book, so I think I have a pretty good idea of it. You know, the band started out as 5 equal members, and everybody would write songs and contribute.
Right.
And then it just became Henley and Fry contributing songs, and everybody got less and less. But then it became really obvious that Don Henley is like a machine, like a songwriting machine, and even Fry's songs weren't good enough. And then that became the tension between the two of them.
So then it became...
That is very well said.
Yeah, your book was
you got
amazing.
A lot, you gleamed a lot from the book.
Yeah,
didn't
the
you?
two stars, then one outshone the other.
Yeah.
Did you feel guilty writing the book in the sense that, oh, gee, that's not very rock and roll? Like, okay, you keep your secrets and all your stuff to yourself, and you don't squeal on your brothers, even though they're messed up brothers or anything. Like, it's almost like a family. Did you feel...
Where did that rule get written?
I'm asking. Did you ever have any moments of doubt about writing the book?
No, really what happened was after, in a period of 12 months, I went through a divorce from my wife, which was, we'd been together 29 years.
How much pussy were you getting, if I can be crude? I mean, was it crazy?
During your marriage.
That's fairly crude.
We know you can be crude. Don't ask that question.
Tell me, what was going on in your life? I mean, poor you. You're married. You probably said to yourself, please, Mr. Penis. I don't know what you call what do you call your penis? I don't know. Everybody.
Mr. Penis.
Mr. Penis.
Mr. Penis. You probably say,
Yeah.
Mr. Penis, please, don't lead me to temptation. But it's almost impossible to resist, isn't it? I mean, the world is a candy store.
we had this organization called the Third Encore, which
Right.
wasn't my idea. I wasn't in charge of it or anything. We used to go out and do our shows. We'd do 2 encores.
Right.
And then during the show, we had guys that would go out in the audience and hand out these little buttons. They were like campaign buttons that had 3E written on it, which stood for the Third Encore, to the most beautiful women they could find, by the hundreds, and say, the Eagles want you to come to this private party. It's upstairs at this suite, blah, 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 blah. And so by the time we finished and got off stage and jumped in the car and went back to the hotel, got to the room, showered, and then went down to the suite, which was furnished with champagne and hors d'oeuvres and appetizers and all sorts of other party supplements.
It's like the greatest bar mitzvah ever.
It would be wall to wall with women that were just dying to meet you.
Wow.
And whose idea was that? Because that person should have been a full partner.
He was.
Yeah.
It wasn't my idea.
That should be a third partner, just the Third Encore guy. And I love that there was a name, the Third Encore. I mean, it's brilliant. That guy's a genius.
Yes.
Screw Hotel California. And the women would be there and throw themselves. How long were you able to resist? Because you were married. Was there a period of time, like a couple of months?
No, I was just ravaged with guilt during it all. I mean, to the point where, the nights that I was really high or really drunk, really bored. I don't know if you spend a lot of time on the road, but you spend.
I spend a lot of time at my house.
You spend 2 or 3 hours on stage,
right?
And then the rest of the time, 20 or 21 hours, you're just sitting around with nothing to do, and you find all sorts of horrible things to do, whether it's drugs or alcohol. Or Walsh and I, God bless him, one of
Joe
my
Walsh.
favorite guy. He was
Joe.
my comic relief. I just loved the man. He and I would get into all sorts of things.
You know what's amazing? Joe Walsh, to me, is one of the most talented guys. He was in the James Gang, wrote great songs. He joined the Eagles, and now, and he's not a full partner in the Eagles.
No, he's not.
No, he is in other words, they pay him well, I guess. He has a deal with them where if he goes on tour with them, he gets paid.
Right.
If they make an album, he gets paid. He gets paid by those 2 guys.
That's how I understand it. Yes.
Right. It wasn't like your deal where you were a full partner. And yet, I'm always surprised that Joe Walsh put up with that, because wasn't he too responsible for giving them more of a rock image and that? And they control him so much that he he was not even allowed to dance on stage, right? They would
that's
tell him
right.
no
Joe and I
dancing on
used to
stage.
dance on stage during all girls, or all they want to do is dance.
Right.
And we would get together and play these guitars and dance and just kind of hammer around on the camera.
It's fun.
And Henley would say he didn't like the camera being
moving
on
away
us.
from him. Yeah.
Right.
So we were a distraction from the Don Henley show, and so we were reprimanded. So we literally started standing almost with our feet nailed down to the floor on that
And
song.
you were probably like, well, I'm being reprimanded, but I have just as much say in this band as the other guys.
You bet, absolutely.
I mean, that's got to drive you nuts.
Yeah, I was castigated one night for wearing the wrong color shoes on stage.
Do you think it was because you were sucking away? Because I find when I watch an Eagles performance, I always like to watch Joe Walsh because he was always a little bit out of control.
He's animated.
And now he's Robo Joe.
Yeah,
I used to do, in high school,
Yeah.
I used to do an impression of him with Hotel California.
With the faces.
For my
and
friends, it
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
we'd be, a little drunk, And when you and him are together doing the solo at the end, I could do the...
Those weird faces that Joe
That's perfect.
But as
and
much
the
as you
chemistry between you two guys was hilarious.
Right. But you see, it was too much for these other two guys.
These the egomaniacs.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They couldn't handle it.
Yeah, the issues really came down to greed, power, and control. And
What
those
do you
are
think
ugly
as
things.
as a corporation, the Eagles Corporation, T-shirts, concert tickets,
Huge.
albums. What are we talking?
Billions of
dollars.
Billions of dollars.
And you know that because you
were a part of
you
it.
were a part.
Yeah,
But you thought that the books were being cooked, and you sued to get more money, right?
Well, no, what happened was I started asking questions, and I started getting these kind of sandbag answers.
Mm-hmm.
And as CFO, I thought that I should have the right to at least see what's going on.
We're
How much
talking
money are we making?
we're talking billions
Where are
of
the
dollars.
expenses going? What's happening? What kind
Right.
of deals are you guys making for records or touring? Or, hey, what's going on,
You're a
partners?
partner, yeah.
Right.
And so my lawyer started asking these questions since we couldn't get any answers directly.
Mm-hmm.
And after he submitted, even though we had been promised in contracts along the way that they would provide us this information, his last letter was sent saying, hey, you promised us to give us this information. When do we get it? And the next day I got a phone call saying I was fired.
How
And
can
so-
you be fired? You're a partner.
Well, that's the point. So if you're a shareholder in a corporation, if you own or have a position where you work for the corporation, they can remove you from that job. But
so
they can't.
you were fired. The guys
As a
didn't
guy
even
on
come and
stage.
say to you.
They didn't talk
it
to
was
me at
through-
all.
They wouldn't talk to you because
wouldn't
you
speak.
dared to ask questions about your share.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
So you did sue.
That's right. It was the only way that we even spoke to them and said, hey, you leave us with no resort other than to file this litigation. We don't want to do this. Believe me, I've never been in a lawsuit with anybody, and
Right.
I hope I'm never in another one in my whole
How
life.
long did the lawsuit take?
6.5 years.
And I presume you won and got hundreds of millions of dollars.
We settled.
You settled?
Yes.
Why did you settle?
Well,
so if you settled, you got tens of millions of dollars.
well, in
I
that,
hope.
in that settlement, there's a non-disclosure
I see.
confidentiality agreement that I
Right.
can't discuss the intimate details of it. Although I'd like to.
But I would imagine you're still a partner business-wise with these Eagles.
I can't discuss that.
You can't
either.
even say that. But
Oh, see, because I need to know now when they're on stage, are they working for you?
I can't discuss.
Well,
that.
they play Hotel California. They close every night with Hotel California, and it's a big part of the show.
Thank God you made that deal where you were in writing a full partner. Otherwise, you would have been screwed.
Absolutely,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
And-
not very rock and roll, is it? That
What,
they
being
did
screwed
that?
in the music business?
Yeah.
It's historic.
Oh, it's
Everybody
historic.
gets screwed. Either the record company screwed you, or the manager screwed you.
But this is
or
your
somebody.
bandmate screwing you.
Yeah, that's especially, the irony of it is I think Don Henley was the head of Coalition for Artist Rights.
Wow.
But let me ask you were upset.
which is a bit hypocritical.
You were even
know.
upset with Joe Walsh. You felt when you got thrown out of the band, he would have stuck up for you more.
Well, yeah, I called Joe right after I got the phone call, and Joe
Right.
and I had been, literally, I drove him to rehab. I, put him in my car and took him there and did everything.
By the way,
I-
everybody drove Joe to rehab.
Oh, they
Yeah,
did?
that wasn't a big deal.
Not everybody got him to go in.
Well,
Go ahead.
I only had me and Joe in my car.
I'm just joking. Yes. And so you say you were so close with him, and then you call him up and say, Joe, I just got thrown out of the Eagles. Let's go in there and tell those guys off.
Yeah, well, it put Joe in a really difficult situation. I mean, you were talking about the control they have over him.
Yeah.
And he would have had to make a decision to put himself in a position where his neck was in the guillotine as well, along with mine, or just kind of step back and go, I'm sorry this happened. This is kind of what he did.
So he did. He remained silent. And
Yes,
were you
he
angry
did.
with him at that time?
I wasn't angry. I was more hurt than I was angry. You know,
But
'cause
you
I really
can
felt
understand, he didn't have that
he
protection.
didn't have the protection. He didn't have the power. As a matter of fact, in my inquisitions, I was really asking not only for my benefit of what was going on, but for Joe and Timothy as well. They had no right to ask for anything, and had not asked for anything.
I mean, I'm sure whatever Joe gets paid is a nice paycheck, but it's a paycheck. It is not ownership.
That's right.
But if he writes a song,
He owns the
he owns
publishing,
something, I guess.
right?
But who knows?
Or is it
Maybe
like working for the telephone company? Anything you discover, it belongs to us.
I don't know right now what exactly Joe's deal is with them.
Right.
I can't discuss.
Well,
that.
they have an
in
Eagles.
your non-disclosure, what about writing the book, though? Didn't they say to you, you are not allowed to write a book or talk about us or anything like
Well,
that?
that was their countersuit. And in the last contract we signed, what we would do is we would sign these ongoing contracts for every tour we did. Say, okay, we're going to do this and in this. And the last couple of contracts we signed, they put in this thing that said, nobody can do press or radio or newsprint or write a book or anything without the express written consent of Henley and Fry. In other words, you couldn't open your mouth unless they said it was okay.
Wow, that's I mean.
But the term of those agreements were only for the tour.
I see. But why write the book? In other words, you're a wealthy man.
Okay.
You have more money than you'll ever need.
Let's go back to where I was when I was terminated. I'd gone through a really long, difficult time, divorce with my wife, 29 years.
So half the money went out the window.
Well, I didn't care about that. My heart went out the window is what really mattered. So I'm sitting in a really dark place, you know.
Right.
And so I started doing a lot of meditation. And while I would meditate, I kept reliving how I had gotten from that little dirt road in the south to where I was right now, having gone through all the steps along the way. Yeah, everything that I'd done. So finally, I sat down at this computer and I started writing this stuff down. Not with the intent of writing a book, but just more self-therapeutic than anything, cathartic.
Like a journal,
to just kind of start looking at myself and understanding more clearly, mentally and emotionally, what had happened to me. Finally, I've realized I've got hundreds of pages of this stuff, and my fiance said, you know, you should write a book about this. And I went, that's not a bad idea.
You're a creative guy. You're looking for creative outlets.
But I didn't do it with any sort of like sword in hand to decapitate people or show anybody for their warts or anything, because we all have warts and stuff in our lives.
But I'm sure Fry and Henley hate this book.
Well, I don't know. I've only heard from their lawyers. I've never heard from them.
That means they hate it. The lawyers don't call and say, God, great book.
So you have a son from your first marriage. Was he angry with you? Didn't you have a son as well from your first marriage?
Yeah, I have 4 kids from
you
my
have 4
first marriage.
kids.
Yes,
Were they angry with you over the divorce? Were you the bad guy?
Yeah, originally, when the reason I stayed was for my kids. I was there for about 8 to 10 years, longer than I thought I should have been. And bless my wife. We're still great friends. We talk every couple of weeks on the phone. She comes to my house for Thanksgiving dinner. We're beyond all that anger. We've got kids, grandkids together. We have hundreds of friends we share. We see each other at parties. So, why throw a relationship like that that's been so long and so great a way?
For all the coke and everything, you look amazingly well. I mean, you're
kind of cute too, Howard.
How old are you now? I mean, seriously, how old are you now?
Do I have to say on the air?
Sure,
okay.
Go ahead.
I'm 60. I'll be 61 in September.
Wow, you look terrific.
Wow, see all these guys who turn in 60.
How old's the fiance? But she's a youngster, huh?
She's 42.
All right, that's nice.
She'll kill me for that.
Would you meet her? Is she hot?
Yeah, she's beautiful. She was Miss Niagara. She's Canadian and was runner-up to Miss.
Cool.
It's in the book. There's a photograph in the book.
Naked or clothed?
No, not. I'm the only one I think lately that's seen her naked. I hope.
You never
Although
know.
I am out of town, you know.
What a shame that here you make such great music with those guys, and it'll never be again. You know, you can't work with those guys.
Well,
They
you
just
can't-
made it impossible.
You never say never.
You say,
know.
yeah, that's
Well, you
true.
did do a reunion.
In '94,
In
yeah.
94.
We were back together in '94.
How was that?
Well, that was it was separatist, segregated,
There was no communication during that?
very little. As a matter of
Right.
fact, everybody went in separate cars to the show. We had separate dressing
Wow.
rooms backstage. As soon as the last note was off, we scattered.
Didn't you say at one
Nobody
point?
wanted to be in the same room.
I saw you guys
It was
at Giant Stadium.
Oh, yeah, that was
tour,
great.
and
Yeah.
it was a great concert. But you know, it just. Do you still talk to Joe Walsh? Is that a?
I would love to. I've reached
but-
out to Joe many times, and you know, I think he's in a really difficult position to be able to have a relationship.
They might think he's a traitor if
Right,
he's talking.
right.
So when's the last time you spoke to him?
At a deposition about 3 years ago.
Real? Oh,
yeah, I
that's-
gave
that-
him a big hug, and I apologized for having to have him come and do that. And,
Right.
You know, it's just
But
awful.
hey, man,
Did he
it's-
understand that you
He
had to
did.
do? He did.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, we even ran into that control thing. Remember, Joe came in, and what song did he do?
Desperado.
Desperado.
He
Don
sang
Henley
it.
song.
Don Henley went berserk. He
Of
said he
course.
didn't want Joe performing that by himself
Oh, I know.
on our show.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, he got in a lot of trouble.
Joe
Yeah,
actually used to play Life in the Fast Lane in his solo gig, and Henley came out and said, "Accept no substitutes." And so I felt like saying that when they go out and play Hotel California. I felt like saying, "Hey, Don, accept no substitutes." But
Were you shocked that they named the album Hotel California? Because after all, it was your song.
I was shocked when we finished it, the whole album. We had sat and listened to the playback party, you know, where everybody's there and the record company execs are there. And we were in the record plant in L.A. and we're playing it back. And when we finished, Hotel California was like the last one on the cut, not the beginning on the of the record. It was the last one on the playback reel. And Henley turned around and went, "That's going to be our single." And I went, "Oh no, you got to be kidding. It's 6 minutes long. It's slow. You can't dance to it." So everybody wanted like rock and roll and disco and R&B. It's got this, it breaks down in the middle where the tempo stops, and it's got this 2-minute guitar solo.
So you felt pressure instead of pride.
It's the wrong format.
Right.
Oh, hey,
right,
if you do enough of the right drugs, you could dance to that. Believe me, I've done it.
You've done it. You've done it.
Can I ask one thing? In that Hotel California video, a couple of things. It's amazing just how different you look. That the long hair you had and the beard and the flannel and everything. I mean, and you look better now, I think.
Oh,
Like,
well,
right.
thank you.
But
Coming on to you.
you got the double guitar going.
Yeah.
And Joe's next to you with the single guitar.
Right.
And like one thing, I mean, me and my friends were big Eagles fans. The one thing we always thought was you really looked so pissed off at each other. Besides that one moment, like you look like you just had a voice like a look like I don't give a shit anymore. By that point, had you had it by the time you made that video?
No, not there. I mean, Joe and I used to really push each other to the edge playing wise. I mean, it was like.
So it wasn't a look of anger.
No, it wasn't a look of anger.
It was intensity.
It was intensity. Yeah, it's like we got our game face on. We're kind of going for it.
Right, you're very much into it.
Yeah, that's why when you look at Joe, he's really intense. He's into it, and then I say, "You're showing."
But you said one
lighten
time,
him up. You know?
one show that you did, it got so bad between
Henley
and Fry that they had to turn off all the microphones because you could hear the yelling and screaming.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, I would have loved to have been at that show.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
too
shows
wild.
like that.
Yeah.
Also-
one thing, you know, when we talk about songs that you can make a living off of, how much money has that song made?
Generated?
Not enough.
Not enough, huh?
Really?
But you never
No,
have to
it's
work
made
again.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I'm
Because that
fine, yeah.
you can't get away from.
How
It's
crazy?
everywhere.
How crazy did the sex get? Did you and Joe Walsh? Did
You and Joe Walsh had
ever,
sex?
No. Did you and Joe Walsh ever bang a chick together? Did you ever double team
No.
someone?
No.
Never did.
Not that I can remember.
Well, you know what? The
But
other
Joe used to throw. But Joe used to chainsaw hotels.
He did,
would.
yeah.
He would really do all that
He
stuff.
did. He had an electric chainsaw chainsaw because the gasoline power ones made too much noise. You could hear him coming.
He had an electric.
But the electric one, you just hear the blade coming through the walls.
Oh my God.
Why would he do that? Why would he destroy property like that?
Well, you know, it was comic relief is what it was. Like I said, you got 22 hours of sitting around with nothing to do in some hotel in Boise,
but the
Idaho.
poor manager, poor
way.
manager of the hotel probably said, "Oh my God, this guy just." I mean, I'm sure you had to pay for it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Came out of your
but it was fun. I enjoed it.
I also read that
we had some of the greatest times together, trashing hotel rooms and hanging out.
I read that one of Joe
Trashing
Walsh's best friends was Keith Moon. Right, he hung out with him a lot, so that's probably where he got some of that behavior
Absolutely,
from.
yeah.
Don Felder's book, by the way, we should mention, is called Heaven and Hell, My Life in the Eagles, and it's available in stores now, and as Gary and Artie can attest to, it is a fascinating book.
Well, you know what? I'm
wondering
if he gets into the sexual or whatever escapades of some of the other members of the band. Because the other day I was talking to somebody and they just kept saying they apparently had some private knowledge of Don Henley. And they just kept saying to me, he's a freak, he's a freak.
Is Henley a freak?
Oh, I can't really comment on that.
Who had the biggest penis? Who had the biggest penis in the Eagles? Quickly.
I can't comment.
How dare you? Throw you right out of here.
Goodness.
A couple of quick questions from the audience because I'm sure people want to speak to you. So let's go say hi. Do you have a question for Don Felder?
Hey now,
Hey
how you guys
now.
doing? Hey Don, it's an honor to talk to you, man.
Oh,
I love all your work. God bless you. This is Mike from Bradley, and I don't think the Eagles are the same without you. And what do you think of the new album? And do you think Artie should boycott the Eagles show that he's going to go to?
Hey, you're going to see the Eagles, aren't you? Yeah.
At the Borgata in Atlantic City, I have plans, but I might not go now because I like Don.
Well,
it's not the
I think
Eagles.
Don should go with you. What do you think of that?
Oh,
Take
no,
to the
no.
state. No, you know, no interest. You don't want that.
Their album, I've listened to it, and I was really shocked and disappointed that they have, in my opinion, one of the greatest rock and roll guitar players alive today in Walsh, and you just don't hear him on the record at all.
Right.
There's no Joe Walsh.
It sounds like a shitty country record.
It does. Yeah, it sounds like kind of a Nashville produced record. I was disappointed.
The book is called Heaven and Hell, My Life in the Eagles. It's available in the stores now. Why don't you check it out? It's very well written. You wrote it yourself, or did you have a little help?
I wrote most of it myself. I had a help from an English writer who did a lot of fact-checking and took a lot of my ramblings, and we both edited it and condensed it down into
But this is
something that
really
read
from
like a
your
book.
journal. This is yeah, okay.
I was going to say, as a singer, you say fact-checking. That's interesting to me because you're writing a riff like that and creating something. There's a possibility that you might have heard it somewhere before and it might be somebody else's thing. Do you get afraid of that?
Yeah, well, you have to.
Right,
yeah.
so you have a guy who will check a bunch of legal things and say, no, look, that's original.
Yeah,
because as a comedian, that happens sometimes
You
too.
bet. Yeah,
you think of a joke and you go, that's a great joke, but maybe I heard it before.
Sure.
You know?
I'm writing a CD right now, about halfway through one for next summer.
Right.
And I won't receive CDs from anybody. People
Right.
go, I got some song ideas, because if anything shows up that's even faintly
Howard does the same thing with scripts, right? You won't take a script from...
Yeah, you have to, because if you're writing, then...
You have a real hot daughter, right? She's a model.
Oh, she's unbelievable, yeah.
How old a girl are we talking about?
She's 24.
And she's got a real modeling career going, huh?
Well, she does modeling, but she's a singer. She's been signed to Warner Brother Records.
Oh, wow.
She's an unbelievable singer. You have to hear her sing. As a
Okay.
matter of fact, I'll come back with her. We'll sing something on the show when her record comes out.
We'd love that. All right,
Yeah,
that
she's
sounds
fantastic.
good. Well, you're a hell of a guy. It's great to hear your story.
I don't know. We're only hearing his side of this whole thing. Maybe he was the fly.
Well, I don't know.
That's the surprise I have for you. Guess who's coming in next?
Howard, can I ask one more quick question?
Yes, go ahead, Artie.
You had the contention that you had, but with Henley especially, clearly you're a great singer too. Was it tough to give that song to Henley to sing as well? I mean,
no, I think Don's got one of the greatest voices
He
in rock
does,
and roll.
yeah, but-
and if I had my choice of hearing myself sing or Henley,
Right.
I'd much rather hear Don.
You'd rather hear your song sung by Henley than yourself.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'll tell you, you got a nice voice, though.
He's a beautiful, beautiful voice.
But since they want to be so rock and roll, why does everything coming out of them sound so country?
I don't know.
My money nowadays, from what I hear from music people, everything has to be in a specific category story to make any kind of money.
Right. Well, I understand why they wrote a country album this time, but why does it always sound so country if they want to be rock and roll?
Well, there's no such thing as rock and roll anymore.
That's right. That's true.
One of my favorite renditions of that song. See if I can find it. I don't have it. Okay, I give up. Anyway, listen. I was going to play you something funny, but that'll be another time.
Another time.
Yes.
It's GP1 and Pink.
Oh, Pink. Well, tell those guys to learn Red from Pink. This is one of my favorite. No, guys, this isn't working. It's not here. Trust me. It's a different song.
You know, after I know what you're going to play, I think, and after what Don just said, we should leave it there.
All right. Thank you, Artie. All right, we're going to take a break. I want to thank you so much, Don. Don Felder's book, once again, Heaven and Hell, My Life in the Eagles, available in stores now.
Don,
yeah,
how'd it go in there, man?
Oh, it was great fun. I was a little nervous going in. I was afraid Howard was going to go for the jugular, but he was very kind to me and very gracious. I enjoyed it.
What do you like about doing a show?
Well, it's the first time I've played live on the radio since I was 15. I used to go down to my local radio stations as a kid just to get some publicity and go play Apache or Walked Out Run or something like that on the radio. It was really the first time I'd done that, and I really enjoyed it. It was great fun. It's exciting.
That's pretty cool, man. That's why you were nervous?
Yeah.
So, you know, it seems like you had some rough times in the Eagles. Was it hard to talk about stuff like that?
Not really. Well, it was right at first. It's like any painful separation, you know, when you go through a divorce or lose partners or leave a band. At first, you're really kind of hurt by it, and it's difficult to deal with those emotions. But as time goes by, you realize that for every door that closes, there's a new door that opens, and you can look back at your life and go, you know, I had a pretty good life. I was blessed along the way here. I can't be too harsh and complain too much about it, so I'm happy.
That's good to hear, man. All right, thanks for stopping by today.
I'm David Tell, and I'm here to pour myself out, get the message out about the new Gong Show on Comedy Central, and of course to reminisce about our Afghanistan USO tour. So,
now how did the tour go for you?
I think we'll all agree that like the tour is great. It's the getting there that sucks. The flying, taking like 5 planes to get there, spending 20 hours, you know, and very unsmokable airports, which was a shock to me. Turkey, you can't smoke in the airport. Can you believe it?
Jeez.
Yeah, you can bang a boy in the. I'm kidding. No. But yeah, that was the hard part, and the heat of the whatever that was, desert areas was very, very crazy. But the guys did a great job, and the troops were very into it. So
I think David Tell's got some real pressure on him. He's got to go out and promote the Gong Show. They're starting it on Comedy Central. He's the host.
He's the host, yeah.
Yeah, it's his show, so he's got to get out there.
You think there's real pressure? It's Comedy Central.
Yeah, no, there's pressure.
They're banking on this?
They're banking on him.
All right.
He's their one hope.
Now that they lost Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
What's up?
Is there pressure on you to promote the Gong Show? In other words, you want this to be... But, I mean, you can laugh all you want, but this is a big deal to you.
It really is.
You need this to be successful.
This is my last chance to show business.
I mean, you've done a lot of work for Comedy Central. You've had HBO specials. You're a successful comedian.
You had your own show.
I did, yeah.
That didn't work out.
It didn't... What?
Well, I mean, it ended.
Well, I ended it, though.
Right. Oh,
yeah,
you
it was
did?
going to kill him, that show.
Why did you end your own David Tell show?
Because I only have one liver, and it got harder to do as it was called the Insomniac Show, not the David Tell Show.
All right, but it should have been called. Everyone called it the David Tell. The whole industry called it.
They called it the whole industry.
Yeah,
yeah.
Everyone in the industry called it the David Tell show.
Exactly, Variety, of course. Yeah. No, they called it. Why I ended because it was getting harder to do, but I wanted to keep doing hour specials, and they wanted the half hours, and you know, I guess in hindsight I should have kept doing it. But look at me now; I'm like an old, drunk. I mean, it just seems like.
Are you really a drunk?
Yeah, and that's why the Gong Show is like a perfect rehab of.
Do you have a drinking problem?
Yeah. Well, what
do.
is this? Is this the first time on the air?
No, but I'm saying. I mean, but I'm wondering.
I did
how
not.
much of
I
this-
haven't had a drink in like 6 months. So,
Oh, you
and the
haven't?
guys will back me up on the tour there. So.
How much is this a shtick? This addict kind of person.
I don't speak early Jewish vaudeville terms.
Right.
How
shtick
much
is
of
not
my
in your-
shticklach?
Yeah. How much? No, I mean, how much of this is your persona? Like Dean Martin. Everyone thought he was a raging alcoholic, and maybe he wasn't. But some people have suggested it was an act. Is this an act with you, or are you really having a problem? Do you need to go to rehab?
No, I think that what happened is just I got, I just stopped because, it was, I just was sick of, just doing nothing. And, the drinking was boring after a while and shameful.
Was there cocaine involved?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
But that was years ago.
Right.
No,
because
but
Sarah Silverman said when she went out with you, when she was your girlfriend,
right,
she saw no evidence of drinking or any of this behavior. It came after her, she said.
I thought he was always depressed, though.
I didn't have any money then.
You didn't have money to buy alcohol.
Exactly. I didn't have any of that kind of remote control money, as we used to call it back in the 80s.
So they called you and said, we're starting the Gong Show again.
Wait, jump around and okay, and what else happened?
Wait, hold it.
Go ahead.
Don't worry, I'll get back
This
to
is how
everything.
you break a guy down. You don't stay on the same topic.
I thought we were on the same team a minute ago.
By the time I'm done, you'll see.
Watch out for a curveball coming.
I think I just got it.
No, it was Sarah Silverman.
Right.
I'll go back to that if you want.
No, that's okay. What are you going to do with the wedding? That's what I really want to know. Can I say?
Go ahead. Give me your
Two weddings. It seems to work in every Ashton Kutcher movie. Why wouldn't it work for you?
You're making a good point.
You run from the guest house to the front of the house and the back of the and the mate's like, "What's going on, Mr. Howard?"
That is genius because there's so many people who split up. You could have the other partner there. That's a very, very
boring. All right. So what happened with the Gong Show?
Yeah, Dave.
Now let me. Can I say one thing?
Did you
Tip of the hat.
Did you? Oh, thank you.
Tip of the hat to you. Howard takes it to the level that we can never get it to with these acts, because you've brought on all these amazingly freakish people, cool people, brought out, they're fun. And I'm like, how do we do that? And I don't think we got to that level, but you were the inspiration.
Thank you.
There you go. So, and that's not just sucking up. That's actually true.
No,
So.
it's nice to hear someone say that.
So,
but the Gong Show, were you a fan of the Gong Show?
Yeah, I think the Gong Show was like the first time you actually saw freaks.
I was
doing
a fan of
great things,
Yeah.
and like ukulele acts and guys in a bathtub and Gene, the dancing machine, all that stuff. And that was before YouTube, so that was like really the only outlet.
Right.
We take it down and dirty more the road of hilarious than that. We've got something going that they don't have going for them, which is great judges, and the judges from Andy Dick to Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, Adam Carolla, all these different people came on, and they had a ball with it. They just they get involved in some of the acts. They lay it down. It's not like Sharon Osbourne giving this critique or some English dandy giving some kind of you'll never make it, mate. And blah,
so
blah,
it's
blah.
it's a direct ripoff of Howard Show.
Exactly.
Thank you.
We have everybody from unicyclers to queefers, and and in between.
Queefers?
Yeah, that's your that's your bread and butter.
You do
here.
have a queefer.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
can
new.
a queefer win? Or
I wanted see. That's the thing. The whole thing that really got me was that America's Got Talent. It's always like the juggler and the guy on the unicycle with the bag, and we had those people on. But I wanted the
hardcore.
The vaudeville uncabaret people, like the girl shooting a dart with her vagina at her husband with balloons. I mean, I was like, I love this stuff.
But it's only so far you can go. It's still cable television.
No, they show it.
They
Comedy
do.
Central's very cool about it.
They
I give them a real
dart out of her vagina.
Yeah, well, you don't see the actual,
vagina.
The thing, but you see, it coming out, and
I see. So if this
it is a kids program, the Gong Show. I remember it was on in the afternoon.
Now, are you able to negotiate with Comedy Central a decent salary? I mean, they're pretty tight with the dollar, are they not?
I'm betting that Dave got $20,000 an episode.
Wow, I say that's high.
It could be. It could be between 20 to 50, but it could be 30. I'll say around closer to 20 than 50.
Well, the funny thing is, Artie, you also are a sitcom actor, so if I was going to use my old quote from my part on Wings. from when I was on Just Shoot Me. No, but that's part of it too. But Comedy Central, money-wise, they bring the money if you bring the ratings. And the good and the bad of Comedy Central is that you can take it to the next level. Like the Gong Show would not work, and they've tried it a million different times.
Yes.
A lot of guys have tried it.
Yes.
And it is kind of like the Titanic of going down with the ship. And I could ramble off many hosts who've tried to do it. And we immediately went in there and said, we're not going to try and do what Chuck Barris did. Okay, right. I'm not wearing a suit. I'm not wearing an Indian war bonnet with a kilt.
But Chuck Barris had fun with it.
Yeah, he was great.
He was almost looked drunk.
I always thought he was
drunk.
high.
How long did you date Sarah Silverman?
I don't know. Are you asking me to go to the wedding?
Yes. How long did
could
you
I
date?
go?
What, to my wedding?
Yeah.
Do you feel
not
that
with that
close to me?
face.
Do you feel,
to my wedding?
Do you want to go to my wedding?
Oh, I guess my Gong Show money. I can't afford.
I mean, we're not
Adele figurine. What if I bring a beautiful Kyrgyzstanian girl that I met in Kyrgyzstan?
Listen, I love you, and I think you're great, and I'd like to become friendly with you.
But you're not coming to the wedding.
But we never hang out together. I mean, would you really want to be there?
3 words: bong hits and Scrabble. Let's make it happen.
Let me put it to you this way, Dave. What kind of gift could you afford at Crate and Barrel?
Look, talk to me about Sarah Silverman and Jimmy Kimmel announced they have broken up.
Right.
And that's why I bring this up.
Do you think it's because of the Gong Show?
No.
Is that like a thing in their relationship? If the Gong Show ever comes back?
I want to ask you something.
Go ahead.
Why did you and Sarah break up? And maybe that'll give me insight into why Jimmy and Sarah broke up.
I don't, why?
Yeah, did she break up with you? Or
of course.
She did?
Yes.
You were in love with her?
Absolutely.
Seriously?
Well, what do you want me to say?
No,
Yeah,
I don't know if you're being sarcastic.
But it was puppy love, you know what I'm saying?
All right, it was a
felt
long
like
time
the adult
ago.
love that you power couples share, you know?
Right.
The love of a jet getaway weekend to where do you guys go again?
But isn't all love puppified in a sense?
Where do you guys head off to, whether it's the
Cabo
Hamptons or Darfur to just help out?
Hold it.
To hold an AIDS baby?
Try to be serious with me about this.
He
'cause
can't do it.
I'd
See,
rather...
I'm trying to get insight.
His defense mechanism is up, Dave. Come on.
How long did you date Sarah Silverman? How many months, years? I don't know.
Well, I would like to think it was a couple of years.
Couple of years.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
what would she say?
I don't know. She brings it.
Okay, I'm just asking. I'm trying to get insight because I like Jimmy and Sarah very much.
I
as a
think they're
couple.
going to get back together. Bruce.
You do?
Yes.
Why?
Well, sweeps weeks are coming up, and October's rolling around, and nothing gets.
You think it'll be a big deal if they get
You
back
think
together?
this is a publicity stunt?
Yes, he does. No,
I really do.
No, but in all seriousness, you were going out with her. You loved her.
Right.
Was the sex great? I keep thinking that Jimmy and Sarah maybe didn't have great sex. That Jimmy maybe got bored or something.
Really?
I don't know. I'm trying to put this together.
You don't think Sarah got bored with
She
the sex?
could have. I'm asking from a man's point of view who
So
slept
Jimmy
with Sarah.
was the great lover?
Was Sarah a great lover?
She was a great. I would say she's like 3 lovers in one. More of an adult scene that I probably wouldn't, know about. But that's probably, I'd say, the problem.
Last time I saw her, she said, "I love him. I'm going to be with him the rest of my life." Blah 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 blah.
And what happened?
Well, this
Now
was
they're
the rest
breaking up.
of her life. You just didn't know. It didn't mean she was going to be dead.
Right. I don't know. I don't understand it, to tell you the truth. I really
don't get it either. And
Have you ever done Jimmy's show?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
When during the Insomniac thing, I came out and
Did you discuss having sex with her?
His girl.
No, I didn't.
You didn't. Why not? Wouldn't that be great television to say, "Hey, I banged her, you banged her. Let's compare
That's
notes."
pretty rock and roll.
Is it?
Not so much comedy.
It's not-
that's
that's
like what
not
rock
funny?
guys do. Like Eric Clapton could do that or somebody.
I don't know. I mean,
I would have tuned in.
I would listen to you guys comparing notes and saying, she didn't do this, but then Jimmy would go, "Oh no, she did that
Don't
with
you
me.
love it when and he goes,
She never licked
"Oh
my
God,
balls,
she
and
never
that
did
upset
that to
me." And
No, Dave wants to do jokes about shampoo and a sock.
Every time I come in here, you always bring up Sarah and all that stuff. What do I have to do that? Like, if I found Bin Laden on that trip, and I also opened Iron Man, would that?
No, I only brought it up because of the news that they were.
I know,
I
it's
thought
shocking.
you could offer insight. I did.
Do you think it has something to do with the gas prices? Now,
I don't
this
know.
leads into neutral territory.
Do you have sex videos of her with you?
No,
you never took her.
Before that, no, never.
Wow. Well, all right. I will drop it then.
Like, I mean, honestly, Howard, would you? Don't you feel like that's like you got to be really on your game to do that kind of stuff? Like
sex video?
Yeah.
You know, I've tried it and it never works out well. I've done it a couple of times in my life.
Now, a man in your position, why would you even put yourself in that position?
I look so bad.
You do?
On these videos. You know, you think you're in decent
You know
shape.
what? You really aren't the good, the best judge. You should show us.
I did one where I took the video on my penis, and I don't know, it must have been bright light, but it looked very veiny and like it was. I was like, ugh.
You're too harsh and critical.
When people ask me that, I go, look, I'm embarrassed by video of me not having sex, just acting.
Yeah, right, just being around.
Right, yeah. I mean,
That's what I mean. You're too critical of yourself. You should let somebody else judge it.
Okay, Robin, I'd love to have your critique.
After Gary came back from Afghanistan, he came to me and he said, Dave Attell is a saint.
Is a
said,
saint?
A saint. He said they should call him Saint Attell.
He really is.
Why do you... I said to Gary, why do you say this about Dave Attell? Because as far as I can see, he doesn't look like any kind of saint to me.
Right.
He seems very...
Nobody's ever described him that way before.
And he's a Jew.
And he's a Jew. That's right.
And then the Jimmy thing, right?
Right. So, and he fucked Sarah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see him being a
No
saint.
saint has ever fucked Sarah.
So Gary goes, Wolf, there were days when we were traveling. You know how he talks. He goes, Wolf, there were days we were traveling, and we would be very tired. And sometimes the USO would say, when you're eating, go have meals with the troops and talk to them. But sometimes we were so tired, we would just eat amongst ourselves. But Dave Attell would go over to the troops' tables, no matter what was going on, and sit there and talk with them. It's very, very important to him. The whole time he's there, he's talking to the troops.
He never shied away from the troops.
Right.
Well,
is that accurate?
That is accurate, and the guys didn't know that that's part of the USO thing. It's not just doing the shows, but they picked it up real
Artie
quick.
apparently didn't know.
All right,
Well, but Artie is
Artie
a different.
slept, yeah.
We just.
Artie slept through all of Afghanistan.
But they were like, "How do you do it?" And I go, "Well, I was brought up as a runaway, and I was used to going truck to truck looking for love." No, it's
what is
these
it
guys are. I'm sorry.
Go ahead and explain yourself.
I'll explain. I'm glad that, first of all, I'm glad I couldn't pick better guys to go with because not just Artie and Gary, but Nick and Jim Florentine were great. And the whole thing is that the monotony, we see the war in little snippets on the news, and it's explosions and shooting. But then there's the other times of just monotonous routine, heat, being distant from their loved ones, their lives. There's a lot of people there in the Guard and Reserve who have other lives that they've had to put on hold to do it.
And
what
the
we
psychological pressure, knowing that they might be killed at it.
Exactly.
Right.
But besides all that, there's really just the never-endingness of it and the sameness of it. And that could be horrific or it could be boring, but it's over and over and over for over a year. And we're just like new faces that come in. I don't consider myself famous. I'm not, Jessica Simpson or anything like that. But we just come in and like whether they know you or not, it's just somebody else to talk to. Like, comics are great because we don't bring any equipment. We just come in and tell a couple of dick jokes and we're out of there.
Right.
And they love it dirty. And, they might say the powers that be, keep it clean, do this, whatever. Yeah. But when it gets down to it, they always love it dirty. And we love bringing it to them that way. So.
Right.
Yeah, the shows,
it was a good experience.
The shows were very successful, and obviously Dave destroyed, as did Nick. Everybody killed.
Yeah,
and Gary did a good job. And I mean, it is so satisfying afterwards at the meet and greet when these guys come up to you and say, You know what, man? And every one of them were nice. We really appreciate you coming. We laughed, and it was good to escape for a while. And Dave has gone probably about 4 or 5 times. Is that right? You've been there quite a bit.
Different place,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You've been to Iraq?
Iraq.
You've been to Afghanistan.
And, Afghanistan used to be the one where everybody's like, I hope I get sent to Afghanistan because it's safer. Now it's really,
It's
going
the
crazy. Yeah.
Did you feel in danger at any time when the mortar attack? We read about the mortar attack. We asked Gary and we asked Artie about
Was that
it yesterday.
your first time being under attack?
Well, besides coming on this show, the emotional mortars, the rounds shot at me, the salvo.
Coming in.
No, it happened in Iraq too, but it wasn't like where we had to get in the bunkers. It was just kind of like, oh, by the way, we were attacked. But the best part. There's 2 stories I'd like to say about the whole tour. One of them was I was roommates with Artie for a while and 𝗦𝗵cie𝗄𝗿𝗱, and.
It was fun. It's a fun room.
It was a fun room, and Artie, it's hard to sleep with him because he, you think like he's a bigger guy, he must snore. Well, I snore, Nick might snore or whatever, but he talks in his sleep.
Oh no!
Really?
And not just talks, he orders food in his sleep. I'm not kidding around. Get 𝗦𝗵cie𝗄𝗿𝗱 on the phone. It's so true.
Yeah, no.
Is that right?
Howard,
That's crazy.
Dana and a couple other chicks have said this to me.
You order food in your sleep?
And Howard, he sounds contrived, but he's telling the truth because
it is true.
Other people have told me this, and it's so embarrassing yet so funny.
I never heard it. Does it arrive? Does the food come after
what did I say?
I'm no Craig Gass, but may I try it?
Yeah.
It's like 2 burgers and a dew. Like Mountain Dew, 2 burgers and a dew.
Oh, he even
Are you
talks in
serious?
that
Yeah.
shirt
You
in.
mean he's laying there, and all of a sudden you start hearing him talking about food?
2 burgers and a dough.
Burgers.
But
what
not
else
just
does he
laying there.
mention? What else does he?
Just kind of shaky, kind of like.
I do. I get the shakes.
What else? What else does he order? I'm curious. Pizza?
Well, 𝗦𝗵cie𝗄𝗿𝗱 said the 2 burgers and a do thing, and that was why I knew they weren't bullshitting. Just 2 separate times they said the same exact thing that I ordered.
Wow.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't even drink Mountain Dew.
And the whole trip too, he was not really eating. He was eating apples the whole time, and he had like 1 big meal, and that was about
it's
it.
amazing. Gary was telling me about you in Afghanistan, and he said this, and I hope I don't embarrass you. He says, at one point, Dave Attell waved his hands over the desert, and it turned into water. I'm not kidding.
No, you know what?
I was afraid, like flying in the helicopters and all that kind of stuff. But that was pretty cool that we got a chance to do that.
That was really
Did
cool.
you shoot off a gun like Artie and Gary?
Yeah, I did.
You did, and you liked it.
Yeah, no, that's the coolest part of it because, like, they were like, "Hey, how do you know like this?" Because I watch all those military like history channels.
Why do you?
I love that stuff.
Why do you go? You didn't just go once. This is your 5th time over.
Well, no, I've been to Afghanistan twice and Iraq once, and then I've done like other USO.
Why
stuff.
do you do it? Do you feel an obligation?
Yeah, I also feel that like we're not really asked to do anything, and that like it's a really good. I guess we're lucky that we get to do it because we're in like show business.
Right.
But I just feel like don't get a chance to do anything, and like I've traveled a lot, but that part of the world is like a whole different animal. And,
it really is.
Like you would never. Well, I told this to I think Nick, whatever. When we were in the Kyrgyzstan airport, by the way, do not honeymoon around there because that's there was a guy getting on the plane with a bow and arrow. I'm not kidding around, Howard. I'm not kidding. A Mongolian hordeman, whatever, was getting on with the bow, and he was at the counter like, when can I get that flight? And I'm like, that guy's got a real bow and arrow on him, And you're only afraid of the bow and arrow from a distance, but up close, it's kind of like retarded,
Yeah.
I mean, no,
it's the bit I'm working on.
So you are a man who feels compelled to help his country any way you can, and you do it.
Yeah,
and you do it with joy.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
Okay. The biggest surprise, delightful surprise, was when we went to the Predator base, and did Gary tell you this?
Oh yeah, the colonel.
The colonel of the Predator base is like the most devout fan of your show.
Wow.
Anyway, because we walk in and he's giving us like a bullet point thing on the Predator, which is pretty cool because Jeff Anthony usually when you do the USO tour, you meet everybody. You meet like the guy who's in charge of sanitation, and he gives you like a rundown on how they do the base and like how they set up the city and all that kind of stuff. So some of it's kind of monotonous, but you know, you're there to meet the guy, so you got to, you know, sit through it. But this guy goes, I got a couple questions. One about the merger, and like he's like a colonel.
He's up on it.
Yeah. And the next one, Jim, are you still going out with Robin? And then like, where's Artie? Is he coming out? You know,
well,
he
Dave,
wants you to be up fanatical.
Right. Dave has been there so much, Howard. He knows enough, and he reads a lot about it. I guess.
Yeah.
Where he's talking to the Army guys in Army terms, like a guy will have a rifle and we won't even know what the fuck it is, and Dave will be going, "What are you using that? Do you use S50s? Sure, you got a 485 Glock on that?"
I didn't say it.
I mean, no, you knew numbers.
You're a gun freak.
Yeah, you're not a gun freak.
Nick
You
in
just
Lake Tahoe, you're on
knew
the air.
about
Go
it.
ahead.
Good morning, Howard. Thank you very much. I got a question for David Tell. Was there any time on the trip that you guys were so scared that you said, "Oh man, this is it. I don't know if we're ever going to get out of this one," or anything like that? Artie, Gary?
Probably when Artie was talking in his sleep about food.
I thought he was going to eat me. No. I think it's scary. I think the real scary part, because they can take really good care of you. The scariest part is the flying. You know, like you fly in a lot of different aircraft, old military aircraft, like from the the 60s.
Howard, no windows, and it's claustrophobic.
Yes,
and you're a target too.
And well, you can't fly over Iran or Pakistan,
Yes.
so it's really. Remember how you used to always bitch, and you were so right about how France wouldn't let us fly.
Right.
So these fucking planes have to go around and use more fuel. It takes longer, and these soldiers are packed in these planes with all this equipment, and because you can't fly over fucking Iran or France or whenever we couldn't do that, it takes longer, and they're tired. And you don't realize how important windows are on a plane to make you feel more secure.
Right.
You're just up and you don't know what's going on. But during the mortar fire, I got to a point where I really was a little first of all claustrophobic in the bunker. Second of all, a little bit, because there was a lot of us packed in. And when we're walking, you know, and that kid said to me, "Look, the way I look at it, if you get hit, you get vaporized." And it's like, it's going to be weird. Just that got to me a little bit.
Yeah.
But they make you feel.
It's got to hurt to be vaporized.
But they make.
What is vaporized, Artie? Can you explain that a little
Well,
bit?
when
So you
in
take
other
your
words,
pot
in other words, you get hit with a weapon that's so powerful that it just like can turn you into dust immediately. Like, you don't even feel it.
Yeah, there's nothing left of you.
Right.
Gary said at one point, David Tell jumped on the mortar.
I would have done that if it was good for the show.
Well, did you ever at any time assess who would be a problem if it got heavy?
Well, I did think that if, let's say, we were captured, I know as a Jew, I would have had to think out one of the other guys.
Right.
No, if we like say got into a crash and we were in the desert by ourselves, abandoned, alone, and had to resort to cannibalism, you figure I'm going first because they're lasting 2 months on me.
Let's go to Jerry. Jerry, you're on the air in Dover.
Okay. Hey, besides that, the Gong Show looks like it's going to be funny as hell. But,
Oh, thanks, man.
Hey, Sarah Silverman, little star fucker, did she take it up the ass?
Wow.
Well, that's a legitimate question, and you got to deal with it any way you have to deal with it.
You really think he should answer that?
I do. I think it's legitimate. I don't think it's a nice question, but I think it's a legitimate question. Did Sarah take it in the ass?
No, I don't see any of that there. I think it was more by Kabbalah sex. You know, it was really.
It was more traditional.
Yes.
All right. I mean,
I like how that guy came at it. Like
you were with her in the early '90s. That was the height of the anal craze.
Was it really?
Absolutely. Even Robin went through it. Robin took it. I had it a couple of times in my ass. Yes, absolutely.
Well, you know, back in the desert, that's really the only way to clean yourself. Clean your piece, as they call it.
I mean, she probably took it right up the ass.
What's going on with your relationships now? Do you have a girlfriend? No one ever reads about you in the tabloids.
The Gong Show is really, I think, like a eHarmony for me, because I met so many interesting ladies on there. This one girl.
Are you having sex?
Well, not really, because I stopped drinking.
Oh.
You mean that ended your sex life?
Well, it does. You know, it kind of like
Are
you'd
you
rather
a
go home.
loner?
I'm actually one of the few guys who's cool being alone. And that was kind of the weird thing, like sharing a room with these guys.
Yeah.
Because I think he'll say it too. Like, Artie, you're on the road all the time, but you get like your own. At the end, you go into your own room and you can do whatever you want.
Absolutely.
You know? And now it's kind of like this, like guy club. And like you're afraid to like undress in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Although you're walking around wearing just a towel. A towel.
And that's always fun. But we had, because again and again, like Dave said, we couldn't pick a better bunch of guys. There were a couple of nights where, we couldn't sleep, and it was just me, Nick, and Dave, and just laughing all night because we. You just love each other's company on top of being performers. And, I mean, Dave, is being humble a little bit. A ton of guys recognize him from Insomniac. They love seeing him.
Right.
And he goes up and, like, literally at the mess hall, he'll go out of his way to just talk to guys. And like I told you yesterday, there was one group of guys who said to me and Gary, look, they were just out of Fort Hood, Texas, going away for 15 months. They asked, could you hang out with us? And Dave was very aware of that, and he always did it. Never said no to anything. So I mean,
Dave.
It was a great. It was a great. It was a great.
That's
tour.
not true. But, I mean, thank you, Artie. But a lot of it has to do with that's our fan base too. These guys are the guys who come see our shows when they're and it's like that's the cool connection, because it's not just like they know your stuff, or like a lot of them have said
you don't care. You never think about your own life. You never think about the fact that you might get killed over there.
Well, I'm kind of hoping.
You're hoping you die.
Since I have a miserable life, no.
Now tell me, you don't have a girlfriend?
I don't.
And
so I can't go to the wedding then.
You don't have anybody who...
No, I have a friend.
You got a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, something's going on.
Well,
Why are you keeping it such a secret?
No, she's not my girlfriend now.
Why are you hiding her? Bring her in here now.
Why did you say it to her?
You know what? I'm gonna. I'm gonna.
Who are you voting for now that you've been overseas and you've seen the action firsthand? Who will be the best man to handle the situation in Iraq and Afghanistan?
Wow.
Is it Obama or is it McCain?
Well, sometimes I think it's really, I think, the 1-2 punch. You got to get like the right vice president. And sometimes I think like, late at night, especially after drinking binge, the best guy for the job would be Obama and the Burger King. The actual Burger King.
Stop it.
No.
Tell me who you're for.
Who am I for?
Yeah. Who is the best commander-in-chief? You've been with the troops.
Yeah.
Mayor McChee.
You've spoken with the troops.
Yes, I've spoken to them and heard their views.
You think the Burger King would be a good vice president?
Well, the Burger King burnt down. Talk about...
Oh, that's right. Oh,
you didn't tell that story?
Well, I was trying to, but we were all over the place. But
we only had 3 hours.
The Afghanistan...
The Afghanistan Burger King.
The Kandahar, the base we were at in Kandahar, the place that stunk like shit.
Yeah, the Kandahar Beaky.
Yeah, it had a Burger King.
Yeah.
And of course, I hear that, my eyes light up.
Yeah.
And then they go, but it burnt down last week.
Yeah.
A mortar hit the fucking Burger King. So I was looking to have a Whopper with cheese with shit on it.
I've actually gone to a fast food restaurant, whether it was Burger King or McDonald's in Aruba many years ago.
Right.
And it was so bad.
Really getting into the local culture.
Oh, my God. I was so fat back then that I decided I needed to eat Burger King. And I go in Aruba, and I go into the local town. It took over an hour to get a burger. There's no such thing as fast food. Can you imagine in Afghanistan what that would have been like? I mean, you would have been sick. I'm sure for months.
And the guy behind the counter.
Yeah. What would you like?
You know what else they have? Like a Starbucks ripoff type place that they build.
What, the Tim Hortons?
Well, not the Tim Hortons. Like
I love that place. Talk about real heroes. It's those 4 Canadian girls working at the Tim Hortons.
Yeah, there's a Tim Hortons
in Afghanistan.
And there's like a coffee bean type place.
Yeah.
Green bean, whatever.
You think they set that up for the troops, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole city. So the funny thing is, you see a lot of these big, good old boys from the South walking around with an M16 and a caramel macchiato.
Yeah.
Frappuccino.
Isn't it amazing, like, the lengths people will go to make a living? I mean, that's pretty something. That's extreme to set up like a Starbucks in Afghanistan.
Right, and it's
when
always
you hear
packed.
about those people who get kidnapped, it's always some guy
Right.
from the Midwest
Contractor.
who needed a job.
It's always a barista at
It shows
Starbucks.
you how shitty things are out there.
In Kyrgyzstan, the cool thing is because the people are like Russian hybrid. You know, like you'll meet like a girl like with one blue eye, like a husky, like weird hot girls, and they get jobs on the bases. And like I was up early one day, like just chain smoking outside, and these two guys walk by, a guy and a girl, and they're like wearing like all yellow. I could tell they're not in the military; they're like contracted, and there's like this drop dead blonde hottie who in New York would be, you know, like the top of the totem pole. She's like collecting my cigarette butts and like putting them in this thing.
Yeah, that's right.
I couldn't believe it. Like that's the best job there. They have
Local Russian nannies.
They need Tyra Banks to find her or something.
All right,
Smoking blondes.
All right, you didn't answer my question, right? Because Artie said he now was leaning toward McCain after coming back from the troops.
A little bit, not totally. I don't know.
You could switch back.
Who are you supporting?
Well, I don't really know who I'm going to support. I always go for the ones who are like pro-abortion and all that kind of stuff, gay rights and all that. Because, you know, like I feel like it's too stiff out there, especially in the comedy clubs with all the, you know, church stuff. But, you know, that's just me, you know, whatever. But
plus, you're a gay guy who's had an abortion.
Right.
So that would be Obama you're for.
Yeah, I guess that. But I do love McCain. Like I read all his books, and I think he's definitely like, you know.
So you're having a
hardcore.
hard time deciding.
It's very hard. So
And
I
you
probably,
also-
you know what I think I'm going to do? Sleep in and not vote. You think that's good?
No,
That's
maybe
what I
that's
do.
the answer.
You
Will
also know that McCain can't really be fucking in real life anti-abortion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's a cool dude. He's a cool dude.
Policy.
Yeah, I know. He should say it, but these crazy Bible Belt people have you by the fucking balls.
Well, then he's got to stand up to them. That's what I think.
That would be leadership.
That's
One
right.
other thing I said in my sleep, I just remembered that, and again, other people have said this, and Nick told me this, that on top of that, he claims that I said, and again, I shake around when I do it, and Nick does such a funny impression of me shaking around.
But what does he claim you
He
said?
claims I said, no, regular Coke.
Regular Coke.
I'm not kidding.
I don't know if that was a drug.
I'm not
That's the
kidding.
greatest thing I ever
I mean,
heard.
and these both guys said when they woke up with me one night that I was ordering a burger and a Mountain Dew. I don't
dream about food like most guys dream about pussy.
Exactly.
Well, I had a
Maybe.
wet dream, and I woke up, and it was all ketchup and Russian dressing.
He would go to sleep with like ice tongues, like a teddy.
Do you realize his nightmare is being served Diet Coke? He hates it so much.
I do.
I never thought
Listen,
of it that
one
way.
final question.
Yeah.
Will you call Sarah Silverman and try to date her again now that she's broken up with you?
Howard, I'm not even. I said it before. I'm not in her league. I mean, come on.
I
mean,
think you're really hot.
You do?
I do.
I've been trying to dress a little bit more adult.
You
I'm
look
glad
good.
you picked up on it.
You know what,
Because
Howard?
if you're going to host
Very,
the God show, you got to show people that you're in charge.
Very relaxed with the suit jacket, like
Yeah.
George Carlin.
Like
with
an
the
Armand
beard.
DeSante.
Right.
That was my
enough,
pace car.
enough nonsense.
Dave is being, again, if any interviewer could get it out of him, it's you. But Dave has that comedian thing where, you know, he tells all these jokes. But I don't know this for sure, and I've known him for a long time. But in the early 90s, he was like the king of New York, like the best comedian
That's
there
nice,
was.
Ari.
And when he was playing at a club, other comedians would be late for spots at other places.
All right, so
because
what happened?
You'd stop and watch him. Well, you know,
setup.
what I'm saying is,
Am I dying?
on top of Sarah, I guarantee he got so much pussy back then because he just was like the shit, you know. And
So
No,
you
it was-
downplaying the amount of pussy
I mean,
you get?
I don't know.
Says?
Would you guys one at a time? Even the Taliban, they give him a blanket and a Koran.
You're
when
a
they-
famous guy now, Dave. Come on.
No. This is all I'm going to say, okay? First of all, she's really funny. He's really, Jimmy's really funny, and I'm sure something's going to happen and, you know, whatever.
Right.
But in terms of already saying that, that's really cool because when I was on the tour with him and Nick, who, like, when, I don't know if you guys know, but in the early 90s, Nick DiPaolo was the guy.
Right.
He really was. Like, we would look at him and like, wow, this guy, like, he'd show up, you know, good-looking guy, really on top of his game. And, you know, I still look at him in awe when I think about, like, his writing skills and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of really good comics on the tour, and then Artie had to do like a half an hour, so that's pretty rough. And we divvied up the dick jokes and the, you know, the masturbation stuff.
Right. The good thing is that every guy, Florentine, Dave, and Nick are all headliners, so they were nice enough to. Like, by the time I get up, you got to leave the headliners some subjects to go for. Like, you know,
so they were gracious and left you.
Yeah, they knew exactly how to set you up.
That was a great
You guys are all great, I have to say.
I know, it's a real, like, love fest.
I've never met a bunch of greater guys.
Well, I mean, you know, if
Let me tell you what really happened on
Other
there,
than
Howard.
Sarah Silverman, have you ever fucked anyone else famous?
Yeah, you asked him a question and he deflected.
Well, that's what I mean. This is what he does.
This is what happens. All right, listen.
We'll never get it out of
See the Gong Show. I'm excited it's coming back. I like the idea of you as host. I think it'll be successful. I hope so.
But honestly, a tip of the hat to you. And
thank you.
But
we
Howard,
really did look at
one
your
more
show.
thing, because you'll like this. This is a plug. While I was over there, there's an organization called the Coalition for Major Injuries. These are all guys who come back from the war.
Oh, is this where Dave cut off his own leg and gave it to a soldier? I heard about that.
He's a saint.
These are all guys who are like amputees, bad head injuries, and they're all at a hospital in Florida. And there's an organization that runs, support for these guys. It's a big charity because there's not enough money for these guys, which is awful. And Dave does work with them. And while we were at one of the meet and greets, a guy came up to me and said, Art, you don't know this, but I have half a leg, and I chose to come back here to work administration, but I work with this coalition. Would you guys do a show in Orlando, Florida for us? And maybe, like, if it's you and Attell and these guys, we get 4,000 people and just give it all to the workers. I gave him my phone number, and I've been in touch with someone he knows. And Dave immediately said yes.
Yes.
And
so he's a very giving man, you would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometime in October, November, we're gonna do like a 4,000 seater for this
That's
coalition
very nice.
of injured people in Florida.
You guys are really giving back.
And Jimmy Florentine and 𝗵𝗵 already said they would do it. And again, it's a free show, and it's what is the official name of that, Dave? It's the Coalition of.
Dave, let me ask you something though about
It's
that.
Wounded Warrior. I thought we were
Wounded
talking about.
Warrior.
So I didn't hear about this Orlando thing, but that's
how
cool.
did Sarah let you know she was leaving you? All right, listen. Okay. Dave, best of luck. We love when you come in here.
So Dave, are you really the saint that Gary's making you out to be?
I think they built me up pretty hardcore, but you know, one man's saint is just another man doing his job. Not like these Hollywood types.
No, we really want credit. Come on.
No, but they, I don't know.
It was, put it this way, there were a lot of dick jokes that the guys loved. That's what
I think everybody did their job, but it's not really a job like you kind of enjoy it and all that kind of stuff.
I couldn't do my 20
I like
minutes.
how Howard brings you back to earth. You can do anything, and he's like, you know.
Dave, how do you think Artie handled the hot weather over there? I know he was nervous about that for a while.
I have to say honestly, I really didn't think he would make it through the 100+ degree temperature, but he did.
I slept most of the days anyway in air conditioning.
With his
ordering food,
his Green Beret training kicked in, and he did it like when he had to be up. He did it because after like 7 in the morning, it starts getting really hot. And by afternoon, it's like way too hot. But the locals seem to be moving. I don't know. I'm just rambling, but.
Yeah.
She's even more bizarre.
No, it's not bizarre. It's just the place we wanted to get married. These places like book up
but what
2
about,
years in advance now.
People
It's
work
absurd.
on a Friday.
Yeah, but you know, people around here don't.
So they have to get there. But what about the rest of your guests? They don't work?
I don't know. I guess they're taking the day off.
That is hard.
What do you want me to say?
You're going to get married on a Friday, 3 hours from Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
And the people, your loved ones, forget us.
Yeah.
Your loved ones.
They're willing to make that sacrifice.
It's not a sacrifice. Some people can't get off from work, genius.
So I guess they can't come. So far, it hasn't
You mean
been
in
an issue.
Saratoga? That's the only place that's available? You have to get married there?
Talking
In
to my
all of
girl,
fucking
dude.
New York? And
It's not me.
Your girlfriend really wanted to go there? Is she from there?
Well, she's like from even further upstate, so it was kind of a
It
middle
was
ground.
a middle ground.
Yeah.
Someone told me you're dyeing your sideburns now?
Yeah.
What's going on with that? You have gray hair?
No, I don't have gray hair.
Why
I
are
just
you
couldn't grow
done?
very good sideburns, so I said, I tried putting some. I took the Ronnie approach. It's not
You
that
get
good
married
for the
on a Friday.
Yeah.
What time?
like 6:30, 6 o'clock.
All right, so 6 o'clock. So let's say a guy's got a 9 to 5 job. How the
Right.
hell's he going to get there?
He'll have to take a half day.
Have to take a half. Like people can just
They
decide
don't have
that.
to do anything. They don't have to
No, but
come.
people
I don't
who-
really care, to be honest with you.
That's nice.
If you don't care, then why is anyone going?
I don't know. Good question.
You wouldn't go if it was you.
Probably not.
I gotta say, have I sent you a gift yet?
No.
All right, I'll send it to you.
That's all right.
What do you want? How much?
I don't know.
What do I have to send?
What would be good?
What'd you give Bubba?
I'll give you the same then. That was heavy cash donation.
No, you don't have to do that.
I'll
Whatever.
give it to you.
It's all good.
I know what I'm going to
I'll give you 1,500. You happy with that?
That's fine.
All right.
That's more than
That's
generous.
unbelievable.
Fuck off my back.
Yes, sir.
I know what I'm going to give Will, and I like Will a lot. I think I'm gonna give him at least the same I gave.
What are you gonna give Robin?
Probably in the ballpark.
Yeah. You don't have to
sweet,
go.
Robin. Will.
No one expects you to
Thank
go as
you.
high as me, so you can always get about
I'm going to
500
do
cheaper.
do more than you.
You can. I
Yeah,
don't
I
care.
Try and one up
beat
each
you
other.
this time.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Now I'm giving more than Robin.
I'm trying to help you out, Will.
Thank you. I appreciate
I wish
that.
I had my checkbook here. I'd just write it right now.
Start a competition.
Did you send me a card or something?
I got your invite on
Yeah.
my desk.
You haven't responded yet.
Yeah, forgive me, and that's wrong, and I will do it.
Yeah, I have to respond.
I'm
Gary, write me a note to send Will a check. Okay. And then make sure I give Jason the same thing. Do I have to give Jason
Can
the
you
same
give me
thing?
more, please?
Why?
I don't know. It'd just be funny. It
No,
would kill Jason.
When is Jason getting married?
November.
Oh, all right.
He hasn't given out his.
No, not yet. He's not quite there yet.
Did he send save the date cards?
Did you hear about Jason?
No.
He said this is okay to talk about it.
What?
He took out a $15,000 loan to pay for his wedding.
An asshole.
What?
So he's starting out in the hole, man. You can't do that
So
shit.
dumb.
It's like, wow.
Why do people do that?
I don't.
Have a cheaper
dude,
wedding.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Who cares how fancy the wedding is?
Don't even have a wedding.
That's what I said.
If you got to take out a loan for a wedding,
And
don't
the
have a
interest
wedding.
rate is ridiculous.
Can I say something?
It's a loan shark.
That's $15,000 he could put toward a down payment on a house.
Howard, guess what the interest rate is on that loan?
Wow.
I'm going to say 18%.
You're right. You're at 17 and change.
Right.
My God.
That's foolish, young man.
I know a Shylock down the port give you less.
Holy
I know. I plan to pay it all back.
Why
with
don't you
the-
guys have a double wedding? That way it would cost less.
Will doesn't want anything to do with me. No, I mean, listen. I had to come up with money somehow. It's my
Doesn't
fault.
the girl's parents pay for the wedding?
No. He's paying. Everyone's chipping in, but no. Her
The girl's
father's a great
parents-
guy, but
What does he do for a living?
Well, he's retired now.
What did he do?
He worked at IBM but not like.
IBM, he probably made a good living.
No, he was like he worked in the factory. Great guy, but he's
Stock
not exactly
options?
loaded.
No stock options?
You know what? He could come up with the money.
Oh, great! I talked to him. The money we got from him is very generous, but that was pulling teeth.
How much did he give you?
15.
He gave you 15 grand, so why can't you have a wedding on that?
How much is your wedding going to cost?
Oh, you don't even want to fucking know.
What do
You don't even want to know.
Yes, we do.
Can I say something? I want to give you the best advice you ever got. Don't have a wedding.
It's out of my hand, dude. If this was up to me,
Don't get
there'd
married.
be no
If
wedding.
you're taking out a loan, then it's up to you.
Well, it's either take out a loan or go to jail. Like, I mean, this wedding was planned around me,
Dude,
and I tried to keep stuff down.
Dude,
there's no shrimp at the wedding.
Can I say something?
What?
Don't do this.
But already,
It's done.
Start out a marriage in the hole that way. $15,000.
I'm hoping the money I get, it's gifts. We'll pay that off, and then I won't be in the hole anymore.
And then you'll have no money to start.
Then I
your
won't.
marriage.
Listen, I said at the onset of all this, I'm like, let's take all the money everyone's offering us, the 15 from her dad, whatever. I go and let's go buy a house. This was my plan.
That's what you
and we
should
get
do.
married at City Hall. And you know what? I was laughed out of the room. No one takes me seriously. And
Why are you marrying? Why are you marrying a woman who doesn't take you seriously?
She takes me seriously, but this
You
wedding
just said,
thing.
You said no one takes me seriously.
No one took me seriously when it came to the wedding. Everyone thinks I'm an asshole for not wanting to have a big wedding.
Where's you going to find someone who takes
Who's
you
everyone?
serious?
Give me the names. Your mother?
My
How much
mother
did your
and
mother
Jen.
chip in?
15.
She chipped in 15. So now you got $30,000, and that's not enough for this wedding.
You got more than that.
That covers the catering hall. Yeah.
Really? What are you guys? Where are you getting
Nothing.
married?
It's nothing. We're getting married in Hackensack or Hackettstown. I mean, it's not like we're going anywhere fucking fancy or doing anything
it's pretty
ultra fancy.
You're talking about $45,000 now.
Well, you're paying close to that.
No, I'm not. Not even close to that.
Well, mine's not 3 hours away.
Can I tell you something?
With traffic, it is.
That's a real dumb thing you're doing.
But
to
this
start
is the
out,
way they're making decisions already. He gets ignored.
Well, no, it's just...
Get ready, sweetie.
Did you get bamboozled into doing this?
No, not bamboozled, but things start slow. I said, let's have a small wedding.
Is
and
such
everyone...
a waste of time. It really is.
You're preaching to the choir over here, man.
mean,
I
it's
don't
all
want a
about
big
fraud.
wedding.
You know what? I've been through a wedding.
Yeah.
I don't even remember it.
It's a fucking way. I didn't want video. I didn't want photography.
Right.
Yeah, bring a
But
digital.
that's
I
what
have
you
a
do
camera.
it
I'm a
for.
photographer. I can bring a camera and take pictures.
Right.
But everyone's fucking insane. Everyone tells me there's a certain way you have to do something,
And why
a certain
can't
way you
you
have
be
to
a
be.
man and grow up for once and say, listen, this is the way you should talk to your mother when she
Right.
starts giving you horse shit. Say, listen, I love you all. You're nice people and your heart's in the right place. But let me explain to you my life the way I want to live it.
Like you
Yeah,
talk
but you
to
know
your
what, Howard?
And then you say...
That's such bullshit
and then
because
you say, no, it's not.
Yeah, it is
and
bullshit,
then you say,
man. You do stuff for bed. What, you dreamed of having
No.
_Consuelos marry you and have two different weddings?
we think it's hysterical together.
But wait a
come
minute,
on,
you don't
man.
We do. I'm not doing
like
something.
this.
If I didn't like Mark Consuelos, I wouldn't do it.
You like them, but you got talked into it.
No,
Come
I didn't.
on.
Not at all.
All right.
Honestly, I'm telling you the truth.
All right. You
I
wanted
didn't get
it.
talked into anything. And let me tell you something.
What?
I can afford to have my friends for dinner.
Right.
Sure.
You're at a different point in life.
Tell
But
me
you
about
don't
it.
When I
talk
got
to
married
your
the first
mother
time-
like that.
when I'm going to tell you a story in a minute.
All right.
When I got married the first time, I didn't pay a dime, and I'll tell you, I didn't have a dime. I made less money than you. I mean, what you make is a fortune compared to what I had when I got married.
Yeah, but it's a
And the
different
fact
time.
it's a different
No,
time.
but, and you were younger when you got
That's
married.
right.
Yeah.
I got married. I didn't have any debt from my marriage. If I would have been 1 penny in debt, I wouldn't have gotten married at a big wedding. I guess my father-in-law paid for it. He even paid for the hotel that we stayed in. I had no money.
Right. Well,
And
I am
you
gonna.
don't live above your means.
You're 100% right, and I got to take blame for this because,
of course,
a year ago, you start
Who
planning.
were the people that told you?
No, I'm not going to blame other people. You know why? Because whatever you're right, and you know it doesn't
and
matter
I'm
what
gonna
other
tell you
people
something.
say.
My mother and father, without getting into too many details, as recently as a couple of weeks ago, called up to say something about my wedding. And I did a very loving thing. I sat them down, and I said to them, here are my thoughts on my wedding. And I'm going to include you in my thoughts so you understand how my life is going and what's going on. And I explained it to them. And afterwards, they said, thank you for explaining it to us. Now we understand. That's a loving way to do it. Now,
Yeah, but at
You're coming
Jason's
from-
age,
yeah.
you were being railroaded by your mother.
no.
Yes.
Let me tell you something.
I remember you ripping an earring out of your ear.
Yeah, I mean,
Listen to me.
you're in a different
Because you
place
were
in
going
life,
to
man.
go see your mother.
I would never live in debt in something my mother wanted me to do. If my mother said to me, it would be a good idea for you to be $15,000 in debt and pay 18% interest, I would not go along with it.
But she didn't tell me to take out the loan. It's my fault.
It's not being insensitive, by the way.
No, I
You're
know.
not being insensitive.
I don't think it's being insensitive.
How come you can't have a nice wedding on $30,000?
Excuse me. He shouldn't even have a wedding. What do you think of that? The guy's he doesn't have a pot to piss in.
Yeah, but
take the 30 grand and buy a house.
Be in debt at $30,000.
Put it toward a mortgage.
Look, I'm with you, and I take blame. Bottom line is, you start planning this a year ago, and it's my fault. I'm bad with money. You don't have to put all this money up front. Everything comes later.
Now
and
let's change.
Right. So, and I did.
Photographer.
Please.
You gotta have a photographer.
When is your wedding? Give me
this?
the date. I'll take the pictures.
November 8th.
All right. I'm going to come. I decided I'm coming to your wedding.
Awesome.
And I'll be the photographer.
Awesome. I love it.
And I'll tell you what. I've seen professional photographers. I am every bit as talented. There's no such thing as professional photography.
I agree with you. I think
give anyone a camera. If they unless they're 𝗪𝗪𝗍, they should be able to take a picture.
I agree.
Agreed.
This whole
100%.
concept. I got to tell you something. I've seen Beth, who's a professional model, get photographed by some of the quote-unquote big names in photography. If I tell you I take a better picture of the woman than they do, it's the truth.
I believe
it's a racket. You know what a racket is?
A scam.
A scam, right. That's exactly right. Now
It's a sham. It's a travesty of a sham.
Honestly,
Two mockeries of a sham.
It's a racket, this photography. And I'm telling you, I've taken pictures. Every magazine has taken pictures of me, and I see it's a racket. There's one woman I know who's better than all of them. Other than that, they're all the same.
Who's that?
Her name is, she used to be married to someone from Bachman Turner Overdrive or something. I don't know. What's her name? There's a woman who actually can make me look good. But it's rare. It's a rare. No, shut up. I'm giving you advice. You want to make sure. All right, I'm done. Goodbye. Goodbye. I don't want to be the photographer.
No.
Right,
I mean,
forget it, Ralph. All right, you
listen,
done?
you know what?
All right, go have a wedding and be $15,000.
You know what, Howard, you're right. You're giving me.
I had enough.
To me, it's like the other night when.
No. I'm done, Artie. Please. Stop. All right, Chase.
He's about the wedding. He had a loan for $1,500.
He's being dopey.
That was okay.
Sorry, dude.
I'm trying to have a real conversation with you. I'm concerned
man.
about you, and then you go, "Who's it, Ralph? Who's it?" I'm trying to be real with you.
I'm gonna help you.
I'm listening to you.
No, you're not. You're not.
Okay, I'm not listening to you.
You're making a mockery.
You have got to get on this right away. No photographers, no videographers.
This kid still has student loans he's paying off from college.
How much you in the hole for on that?
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's $34,000.
Oh my God!
Why'd you go to college, dude? You're typing.
I learned to type in high school. Things just listen. I blame myself.
Jason,
things got out of control.
You're a man. How old are you now? You're no kid.
29. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
a kid.
you're 29.
Yeah.
All right. You gotta sit down with your new wife, and you gotta say, "Listen, we got to use our heads here. I'm 34 in the hole from my college. God knows what debt she's carrying. This broad's probably got a student loan too.
Yeah.
No.
Sounds like
she doesn't have debt. She doesn't make any money.
What about the money for therapy?
She's a nursery school teacher.
Nursery school teacher. That's some occupation.
You're telling me.
Sweet. What are you talking about?
Sweet.
Very sweet.
You make $10,000 a year.
Randy St. Nicholas is the photographer that I was thinking of. She's actually very good. But here's the thing. You've got to sit down with this woman and say, "Listen, never mind my mother, and never mind your father, and never mind anyone else. We don't have any money. We're about to go another 15 in the hole on 18% interest. Yeah, that interest racks up so quick.
I know.
You wouldn't even believe it.
I did the math. I know what I'm in for.
Okay. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. The nonsense has got to stop. You getting married is not that big a deal.
Agreed.
Honestly. There's nobody here who even thinks it's a big deal. In fact, nobody even remembers you having a wedding. Cancel the wedding right now. And sell it to a couple that can afford it.
I just don't know.
Whatever your plans are, someone can jump in and get married.
Like, to me, it's like, and this isn't about what you're talking about, but it's along the lines. It's like the other day at Caroline's, Miss Howard Stern came, and she brought a hot friend, and I'm sitting there going, wow, this chick, I might have a shot with her. And lately I've been getting laid a lot on the road with chicks way out of my league. And I'm thinking maybe I have a shot with this chick, maybe I don't.